interesting where it's make and break for a lot of these teams and players. So
for him, still not to any avail. A bit of a team pinch coming out. Oh, they finished that one. Fate coming out of the kickoff. A bit of a passing play attempt. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? What a finish that was. Let's get to the top. One moment ball. He's going to go for a bit of an aerial touch, maybe a double touch. And gets it!
Absolutely scintillating strike. Takes the 2-goal lead for his team. Once again, that is phenomenal.
I told you it was hype. I told you it was hype. £1,260 prize pool.
Right now, this right here is the pinnacle of RSC.
Welcome to RSC, and we're here with the prospect playoffs. It's been a long time coming, but a big matchup on the cards to start us off, and I'm joined by the fabulous Greybeard himself.
Hey, Boopy, how you doing? This is good stuff. Playoff time. It's a whole season of sweat and tears and grinding, and now we're at the pointy end. And I believe, Boopy, two teams facing off here. First off, because we're bringing you a lot of games, but first up, two teams that haven't even played each other yet.
Absolutely. The top dogs kind of from each conference, never really playing each other. It's going to be a pretty hype matchup. I do believe we have some team stats we will briefly look into. And if you have a brief look at these, majors kind of look a little bit on top here. They have more goals for. They've been scored on less. They do have less saves though, but they have the shooting percentage, kind of the edge on the shooting percentage. So they're looking like a very strong roster.
Yeah, and then looking at some individual stats, one always goes to the goals scored, and the top scorer for the majors, and I'm just going to go with Dioga. Dioga, he's got 53 goals from 57 games, and then over on Kindling, 56 goals from JPEG. So two prolific goal scorers there who will be looking to continue that form and take their teams forward.
Yeah, and we have to mention Say So Speedy as well, sitting on 83 goals in 61 games.
Oh, I missed
him. 79 saves as well.
My word, that is remarkable. 83 from 61 games. That is amazing. What a machine.
Yeah, what a goal-scoring machine. And all those saves as well. Kind of really doing everything for the Majors side. They have these other top scorers as well. But Say So Speedy being one of the top players, and I kind of expect him to pop off today. The pressure's on him. He's on the stream. And the pressure's on both of these teams. They don't want to be losing their tournament life early. They don't want to be dropping down into that lower bracket. They want to be taking this game. So a lot of pressure is going to be on both sides.
Yeah, well, these guys obviously didn't have to fight their way through the play-ins, and we're gonna talk about the play-ins bracket and who made it to the playoffs from that bracket when we get to our next game. But yeah, double elimination. Number one, the majors in their conference, Kindling number two in theirs, and yeah, one of them is going to drop down to fight one of those play-ins teams who've made their way through. So. Yeah, everything to play off. You have to play far fewer games. It's far too sweaty to lose. So we expect both of these teams to be playing like they mean it.
Yeah, they want to be taking it all the way. Soren starting off with an early attack. Nothing found from it. And finding the midfield, finding Maestro. Not much boost to work with, but Say So going for the demo, opening the opportunity. But he just got a touch on it, and there might be an open net coming in for this Kindling side, and they're going to take the first one. And already it's only been 20 seconds, but so much action coming out from both of these sides.
Yeah, I mean, but it was such a good play, and then an error. They got the demo, the goal was opened up, and the player who just got the demo then landed up touching it away, and there was a team bump, and then it was all open on the other side. And look at this, right off the kickoff, Killer Goose. My word, this is looking good for Kindling after a spirited start from Majors, but they're behind you.
Oh dear, for this Majors side. This is not the way you want to be starting off your playoffs run. And yeah, you were mentioning it looks so open for them at the other end. The demo came in, but a team bomb, a little bit of a mistouch on the ball. And they find themselves 2 goals down, and Kindling are still fighting, still pressuring on the box, trying to find something going. Takes it over 1, trying to find it over Speedy, but Speedy, the man we've been talking about kind of in that little pre-show. And Killer is there, gets a little bit of a touch away, but straight to Digo, who's going to try and find this one mid, but no one there to find a shot. And no save really needed for the Kindling side.
Yeah, well, they're having to remake themselves here, the Majors, because they had that good start. They ended up being countered on, and then the kickoff goal, and now they're looking to rebuild. But they were looking good in that opening stanza, now trying to remake. And Say So Speedy from distance, going to be easily touched by the Goose. Now another demo, at least an attempt. That may or may not open things up. They have control, do the Kindling, looking to take it to the other side. And there is good, meaningful intent from both here, but a little unsettled. Look at the shot on goal. Maestro having to bring out a save. And I think the team that both need to settle on over the ball. It's gone very well for Kindling. They got fortunate, but I've totally lost my point there, Boopy. I'll leave it to you. Please get the third.
Wow, Kindling just keep battling for these goals. Speedy was on the backboard, but getting bumped away. And Killer Goose finding it over the defense. And a very, very unfortunate start for the Majors. They had quite a few opportunities early on, but they all got shut down and nothing has been found from them. JPEG trying to start an attack here. Soren finding the backboard into Killer Goose. A shot coming in. Dioga is going to save that one. And the attack starts for the Majors. It hits the backboard. No one there to follow up. Soren getting the clear, trying to find it around Diego. JPEG finding it around the second last defender. Maestro with a block. It's ended up in the box. Diego just trying to get the clear away. But Soren with the follow-up, scoring the 4th goal already for Kindling.
Well, we're not even halfway through the game. There's 4 goals on, and it feels sort of strange. It doesn't feel like a 4-goal game, but they have taken every opportunity they've had. They got a little bit fortunate, but they pounced on the opportunity. They got the goal. They got that kickoff goal. Every chance. And now, but we see, conversely, for Majors, having opportunities, not taking them. And that's pretty much the story of the opening game. And if they can kind of settle into what they're trying to do here, the Majors, they're definitely contenders, but they're struggling out here in game 1.
They really are. They definitely need to kind of settle into this series, warm them wheels up, and try and find some more attacks because they're not working right now. Another shot from Diego, finding JPEG. Speedy up for that one, trying to find it into the box. The 50 coming through. And Speedy just trying to keep the attack alive, but it is going to go clear. A demo on JPEG. Keeps the pressure on this Kindling side. The 50 into Maestro. Maestro finding the backboard. It's undefended. Speedy is up, but it gets cleared away by JPEG. And the 50 finding the corner and just bouncing free, and Kindling trying to start something. Trying to find this 5th goal on the board. Soren trying to take it all the way himself. It bounces down to Killer Goose. Killer Goose trying to find it into the mid. But again, cleared away. And this Majors defense is starting to warm up. They are starting to get a few saves and starting to get a few good passing plays as Maestro just sending that one straight to Diago, and Diago slotting that one home.
Yeah, this is much better for them. I mean, the story up till now, Boopy, has been Majors building attack. They're pushing into that half, looking for a goal, opening up opportunities, not being able to get them, and then being counter-attacked by a Kindling team that had just looked a little bit more settled. But now Majors have looked a little bit better over the last 40 seconds or so, got one of their opportunities, and they really should have had a second. And if they'd gotten that second, you feel there was a good chance of them finding a way to score 2 more and level it up. But now they've got just over a minute to find 3 goals, and they might have left it a little late, but that is the nature of opening games. The starting games tend to be a little bit more all over the place as teams look to settle. Kindling have settled first with the 4 goals, and Majors chasing it ever since.
Yeah, Major's been on the back foot all game, and he passed it into the mid. No one kind of throwing a shot on there. Soren finding the corner, Trying to go up for it himself. Can't get the read. It's in the box. JPEG is up and he's going to find the 5th goal for Kindling. And it is definitely all but over for these Majors side. But they've had some promise in this game. They just need to kind of reset that mentality. They've had the chances and they just need to kind of come back in the next one stronger.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, they're clearly a solid team. They finished #1 in their conference, so you would expect them to be able to reset and figure out what they've got to do to improve and come back in the next game far more solid than we've seen from them here. You know, they're moving forward fluidly enough, but once they get over that halfway line, that last third is kind of where they've been letting themselves down, and that's where they want to kind of get their precision in order. They're targeting their radar, and if they sort that out in game 2, I have no doubt they're going to bring a challenge. But in the meantime, solid performance from Kindling. Oh, okay, more than a solid one, Boopy. This has been a dominating performance in the end.
It absolutely has, and there's just no one stopping these setups from JPEG. Just finding the box and goal after goals coming in. And now potentially the Brazil being on the cards as well. Kindling really have come out fighting and definitely taking game 1, which is a very important game. You want to be taking game 1, making your mark on the series, and it's going to go to Kindling in kind of a dominating fashion.
So I got a question that's completely not related to any of this. I think it's JPEG that had the wow goal explosion. Is that a goal explosion you get in Sideswipe and then you get it in this game? As
someone who has never downloaded Sideswipe, I'm not sure, but potentially it is a new one. I haven't seen it. Okay, confirmation.
Okay, so, that's actually pretty groovy. You get the goal explosion, then you can use it here. All right, fine. Well, that looked far more comfortable, where Majors looking to push, looking to attack, and leaving themselves open for the counter, as we saw numerous times in that last game. Soren now early shot up. Sizo does get a clear via the corner and may have an opportunity here. The goal open for the briefest moment. JPEG doesn't get a great clear. Who gets up first? Maestro! But lovely defending from Soren will get the touch and get it away. But again, it's another Majors attack that doesn't come to anything just yet, but the attack is still on. And this is better from them, but they've got to convert, Boopy.
They definitely do. They look like they're starting to. They look a lot more aggressive in this second game. And maybe they're a little bit more warmed up, but the counter-attack coming in from this Kindling side, finding the backboard. The clear comes out. Maestro finding Soren. Soren just trying to get it clear, but Speedy is there. And we know how good this man is on the offense, but nothing found so far. JPEG trying to get the clear, but it goes to Diago and goes into the back of the net. And the first time Majors take the lead in this series.
Yeah, nice work from Maestro to really set that up. A little bit of confusion in front of net between JPEG and Soren, but this is going to be very good for Majors. They've been absolutely the most aggressive since the kickoff, and now that it's paid off, I really think that's going to settle them down. And Kindling have got to be very cautious now. They've got to get this. They've got to defend well, get the clear, and move back over into the Majors side, because Majors are going to be looking to dominate the Kindling half.
Yeah, this Kindling side can't be as confident as they were in the last game. They know these Majors have kind of warmed up, have got the attacks going, and can score some goals, so they can't be too overconfident. Diago going for the demo, Killer Goose. Jump in that one, trying to get it clear, and a whiff coming out from the Majors side. Killer Goose finding it into the mid, but the only player there is Diago, and he might take it all the way himself, getting the flip reset potentially. And almost an insane goal coming out, but again, cleared away.
And Kindling lucky to get away with it there. An attempted midfield pass led to that attack, and now a demo has caused a few problems for the Majors, but they have taken it out. And here comes Speedy trying to make something happen, waiting for a teammate to arrive. It has popped up high and loose in the middle. JPEG does get a touch. Oh, Diego was a little adventurous there as the third man getting up. He gets enough of a touch on it. And Majors struggling just for the last little bit to get it back in. A nice pass here, Maestro. Looking to control, one touch. He waits, looking for the flick. He's dispossessed. Speedy leaving it. And now Killer Goose from distance. Diogo, oh my word, that was a scary moment, but they survived for the moment.
Yeah, he just skimmed it out the way of the goal and into the post. Very close one for the Kindling side, but It's been more than half the game. They still haven't found a goal. But Major's really holding on for dear life. That one dropping to Killer Goose. The 50 coming in from Maestro. Soren is there. Gets a pop up to the backboard, but Thiago is there to intercept. JPEG finding it now to Killer Goose. Killer Goose with a shot. Speedy is there. Gets the save into the corner. And JPEG again finding it into the mid. Surely they're going to score from one of these attacks. And it's just bouncing off the line. And it gets cleared away. And how did that not go in for Kindling?
Oh my word. And then it goes in on the other side. This is unbelievable. I mean, how many you could set up that positioning and everything that happened there, Boopy. You could set it up 50 times and it would go in 45 times. Somehow they get away with it, and then they transition immediately into attack. And this has been a very good game for the Majors, not just because of the 2 goals, but the fact that they, after conceding 6 in the last game, they've come this far without conceding another. And this should be it. It hits the post, goes wide. Another shot, Speedy gets it in. And now looking very solid for the Majors.
I don't even understand what we're watching, Greybeard. I don't understand how that goal didn't go in. And then Majors just scoring 2 quick ones. 3-0 up now in the series. And only a minute 30 left for the Kindling to find the comeback. And I wouldn't really hope for them too much. It's been such a long time and they still haven't found a goal. But they are throwing shots on target and they're going to find one now. Killer Goose just finding it over the whole defense. And again, it's just that pass from the side into the mid and setting up the attacker in the mid.
3 minutes, 40 seconds. They defended without conceding. And as soon as an opponent scores, they would get that first. This is going to be so sweaty for the Majors. Right now, they're trying to avoid a kickoff goal. They do initially. Oh, but now an open net on the other side, and Speedy's missed. Oh, no, that would have sealed it for sure. But now they've got to sweat out a minute and not concede 2 goals to push it to a potential overtime.
Absolutely. That definitely should have been a goal for Majors. They should have been putting that one away. But he got the hard touch too early on and just didn't really go his way. And Diago trying to find a goal around the last defender. It gets cleared. And the demo coming in on Maestro. But the 50 coming in from Speedy, and that might potentially be an own goal. And Soren just can't get his hands on it and slap that one out the way. And the 4th goal on the board for Majors. It looks like this game number 2 is all but said and done.
And JPEG getting the goal that Speedy should have gotten about 45 seconds earlier. And oh dear, what a turnaround we've seen. That opening game was dominating by Kindling. And now they find themselves on the wrong end, an own goal. And it's been a bit of a hit and miss game for them. And Majors, while they've had a good game, they've had some shaky moments themselves, and we see one of them here with the double commit between Speedy and Maestro, throwing them completely out of position in an open net, and Diego left for dead.
Yeah, well, Majors, they have scored 4, but they have definitely had an oopsie or 2. A few goals missed and let a few in they probably shouldn't have. But I can't really see Kindling coming back from this, but if that one goes in, potentially it is saved away by Maestro. And Kindling still have 2 to find, but the clear coming out from Diego. And it's not looking strong for them. And Majors definitely have come back in this game number 2 a lot stronger than they did in the first one.
Yeah, it's been, first and foremost, a good game for them. An important game, doing what they had to do. They shook off that 6-1 defeat and came out here and held Kindling for a long time and got that 3-goal lead. But it has to be said, once Kindling got the first, they did start to look a little shaky, a little panic in defense, some double commits, an open net that should have been put away. So they made it a bit difficult for themselves. But importantly, we have a series that's not
kind of a little bit of a close game in this game 2. And instantly back into this game 3. And we are at a 1-1 series. So whoever takes this will be taking the lead. And what a shot coming out from JPEG to start us off.
Yeah, now Speedy, it's a 1v1 for the time being. Speedy should get there. No, I think both were Both were deciding whether to take the boost or the ball, but it is an attack, a great attack. That ball floats invitingly across the net. No one playing high enough to tap it in for the kill, but it has a good little passage of play for Majors looking to be aggressive. And they have looked to do this the entire series. They like to be pushing forward, like to be building those attacks and keeping the ball in their opponent's half. Oh, and JPEG with the back pass. Oh, no! An almost carbon repeat boopy of what happened in the last game. JPEG, his touches, 2 times he's pushed it backward.
An absolute disaster for JPEG there, practically putting it in his own goal and giving the first goal away on a silver platter to Majors. And it's not the first time he's done it as well. He's got to be careful about those. He thinks he can just get up in time, but he just skims it and ends up hitting it backwards. And Majors have the lead in the series again. And Speedy just trying to keep the pressure alive, but Soren with a solid clear, trying to find it mid, but it's just going to pinch away. JPEG trying to find this pass into the mid. No one's there to follow up, and it was so perfect. But no attackers there to kind of
JPEG looking to kind of himself there, and it was a beautiful pass, and maybe still, oh no, Boopy, that's surely now, yes, and JPEG gets one back, and he will be relieved with scoring that.
Yeah, at least he's kind of made up for his early game mistake. He's got a goal on the board now. He may have given one away, but he's got the equalizer, and we're back to a 1-1 game. And neither side really looking too spectacular in their offense, but threatening chances definitely coming in on both sides.
Yeah, well, it is a closer game. What we were kind of looking for after sort of 2 one-sided games. Now it's looking. Oh, look at this! Nicely done by the Maestro off the wall. JPEG looking for the clear here, touches it forward. Maestro's up, but where was the rest of the team? No one rotating, covering the net, because surely they can't be too surprised by how that turned out.
Well, I guess they must have been. Everyone kind of going for boost, not expecting a shot like that coming in. And Maestro just sending it all the way home, but an open net now for the Kindling, but Killer Goose can't quite get the touch. And Diego just scurries it away, saves them from that chance, passing it mid. Maestro gets blocked. And JPEG has no boost, but Killer Goose getting the clear away. Maestro with not much boost as well. Gets the pass over to Diego. And trying to keep it close. So 50 goes to Maestro again. And the boost stolen. The attackers have to fall back now. Killer Goose just trying to keep it in that corner. Speedy is there. Tries to get the 50. It goes in the favor of Kindling. And Soren trying to start an attack going. Killer Goose going for the 50. Trying to pass it mid. But again, can't find the touch. And these Majors, they just try and keep it close every time they can. And it's not working out for them, as somehow Soren's found it round all the defense and they got the equalizer yet again.
Yeah, that's a bit of a strange game here, because the goals coming from defensive or offensive mistakes. We're seeing whiffs in the case of JPEG, the back pass. There we saw a whiff in the midfield, which kind of opened things up. And so it has become a closer game, but not in the way you would expect, where both teams are kind of becoming a lot more solid and epic defending. We're kind of seeing mistakes leading to goals, but both teams making those mistakes, and we see it reflected in the scoreline.
Yeah, definitely both teams are looking a bit shaken. And Majors definitely kind of not really finding their feet at the moment. I mean, I guess they've just equalized series, and the defense left open, but Diego gets the save into Speedy, but Killer Goose beats him out to that one. Diego is there again. Killer Goose trying to find the backboard. It bounces down into the mid. He might get the touch himself, but cleared away by Maestro. And Diego trying to get a shot on target here. Soren is there for the block. And Speedy a little far back for this one. Is able to drop it down into the box. Gets it clear, but faking out both of his teammates. And the attack for Kindling is still alive, but they're trying to get the clear away. JPEG gets it onto the backboard. Killer Goose with a shot, and it goes past the defense, slotting it all the way home. And 3-2 for Kindling.
And that was a classic pressure goal, a good build-up. It took them about 25 seconds or so of keeping the ball up against the Majors net, keeping it coming back, and finally the pressure telling, and I think that eventually the boost running a little low, and they get reward for a good period of attacking play, and they might have another opportunity here, but Killer Goose can't get up, and now the third man, he throws everything at that. In comes Soren and will get a 2-goal cushion.
Absolute wonderful dunk from Soren there. He just sees the clear coming out, gets the touch on it afterwards, finds the back of the net, and now a 2-goal lead for this Kindling side. And exactly what they wanted from this game 3. Majors trying again just to start an attack, but the clear comes out so early and it's on target as well. Maestro finding it high. JPEG is there, finds the backboard, trying to get the touch mid. But again, no one there to follow up on that one. And Speedy is just trying to start a dribble going for the flick. Soren there to defend it. And the 50 coming mid. JPEG is there, flicks it high. Diego's up. But a missed touch again. And just back into the half of these Majors side. And it's not where they want the ball to be when they're 2 goals down in this game 3.
Yeah, it's been a game of 2 halves here. The first half of the game, very even. Both teams a little shaky, making their mistakes, getting conceded on, but the second half has been very good for Kindling. They've built their attack, which resulted in a goal, and then they attacked very rapidly after kickoff, getting a 2-goal lead. It's been a good second half here for them in terms of their offensive play and keeping pressure up on Majors. And they're going to be rewarded for it. They're going to take the all-important 3rd game. And now nervy times for the Majors. So it's been 1 up, 1 down. Kindling 2 ahead, 2-1 ahead. Majors having to come back again.
Yeah, they're always trying to fight to come back in this series. And Kindling taking match point now. They only need to kind of win 1 game and they are through to the next round and eliminate Majors down to the lower bracket. And yeah, Majors are just kind of going for these demos, trying to get some bumps on the keeper, and he hasn't really been doing that. He wasn't doing it in that last game, and it left kind of less openings for the Majors side to score, but the 50 just landing straight on Speedy's car. JPEG right there to challenge it, and Diego trying to get it clear, finding it round 2, and Killer Goose left back does get the boost, but can't get the clear, and that might go in, but just goes wide, and a close chance for the Majors.
Yeah, but such a good defensive bump from JPEG. I think it was Speedy, someone in the middle waiting for the pass, and it would have been perfect, but he got bumped completely off the ball, and that just brought the attack to an end. But it is the Majors still looking for something. The pass into the midfield. Speedy with a shot, and Killer Goose with the intercept. The pressure is huge. Speedy shoots. JPEG saves. And the Kindling up against it for now, but so far they've kept it out, but the pressure continues.
The pressure always continues. The Majors just trying to find anything to kind of find an opening in this game 4. Soren just kind of fumbling the dribble there. Diego taking it over Killer Goose. Speedy is up. Dropping it to Maestro. Maestro can't quite find the shot. But Diego there just to keep it in the Kindling half. Gets the dunk as well into the corner. Killer Goose finding it round almost everyone. But again, Speedy is there to just block it into their half. And Diego needs to really get a touch on this one. The 50 coming into the box. Speedy is there. Finds it just into Soren. Soren with a back pass to Killer Goose. Killer Goose up early for this one. Finds the backboard. Almost finds the double touch. Just a whisker away. And it might leave an open net for this Majors side. The defense just scurrying back to save it. And they get back just in time. But a very close one for both sides.
And it's been a Majors have done, for the most part, in the opening 2 minutes here, what Kindling did for that second half of the game. They've continued to have pressure, always bringing it back into the Kindling half, but they've not been able to convert it. And a couple of times almost got countered. So they're going to want to be aware of that. They've got to make something happen here. And what's plaguing them right now is similar to that opening game. All the pressure, all the attacking, but none of the conversion. and that eventually got them into trouble. So they're going to want to be cautious. We've crossed over halfway. No goal on the board yet. Diogo gets a long distance clear, can't follow it for any kind of shot on goal. And now JPEG trying to bring it round, trying to make something happen for Kindling. Soren! Oh, intercept by Speedy. But the pressure not off. Someone has got to get this in, and JPEG will find the net.
So unfortunate for Majors. They had the player on the backboard, but he just couldn't get there in time. And it just bounces down mid for a little free goal for JPEG. And after a long kind of stalemate, a long battle between both of these defenses, Kindling finally take the lead. And they have match point. They have the lead in this game 4. And if this continues, Majors are going to be knocked down into the lower bracket. So they've really got to kind of pick up the pieces. And they're trying to start their own attack, but Kindling do break free. The 50 comes out. JPEG is there just to block them in. And Killer Goose finding it down to Soren. The shot is blocked. And Speedy up for a shot of himself, but JPEG just so calm and composed with that one. Trying to find it mid to anyone. And Killer Goose is there. Finds it to the corner, finds the shot as well. It goes under the last defender and a whiff, but it's hit the crossbar. What chaotic defense are we watching from Majors?
And they're a beautiful opportunity to wrap this all up, put a bow on it, and take down the series. Maybe another chance here. Killer Goose. I don't know if that's what he's intending. It almost worked. The slow looper almost finds its way through, but that's now the third shot on goal in the last 20 seconds that they failed to put away. And Majors, they've got to get the ball out of this half. They are 1 minute away from going to the lower bracket unless they can turn this around. But Kindling have got their hands around their throats and they're starting to squeeze.
They definitely have. They've got the Majors defense just into complete disarray. I mean, Majors are still getting saves, but they look so chaotic as they're doing it. And another chance coming in from the Kindling, but cleared away. Diego gets the 50, but JPEG is just always playing so calm. Gets the air dribble, might take it all the way onto the backboard. The 50 from Maestro saving them, and they only have one goal to find. It is still all to play for the double commit. JPEG finding it again to the backboard, trying to take it all the way himself. Down to Killer Goose. Killer Goose again, finding the box. An attacker is there, the bump. But Speedy gets the save, and they just need to find one goal, but they can't lead their half. Finally, they break free. They have one more chance, one more opportunity, and it looks like the ball's going to drop. It's gone all the way back into the Majors half. They've just got to keep it up. But JPEG might have a double touch to finish off the game, and he does. Absolute perfect double touch coming out from JPEG just to finish the game off and eliminate Majors down into the lower bracket of the playoffs.
And Majors will be frustrated with what happened out there. Their aggressive attacking play is so good until they get in front of the net. They've had so many passages of play where they were building pressure. What Kindling did so well in the third game to take that down, where they just built pressure and then managed to score. Majors doing the same, but just falling short, not be able to get over that goal line and get themselves set up. And
Welcome back to the Prospect playoffs, and we're heading into the lower bracket now. We just watched Majors get eliminated in a 3-1 win for Kindling, and Cardinals sweeping out Prelude, knocking them down into the lower bracket against Hot Metal, who is a team that not many casters expected to be making it into these playoffs.
indeed, Hot Metal. No one's favorite was Hot Metal, but they blazed their way through the play-ins, beating Exelon 3-0, Oberon 3-1, and here they find themselves in the lower bracket of the playoffs with the opportunity to take down a top team of Prelude to move forward. in the lower bracket. So they've been on a run, and hopefully they can bring that momentum forward with them. At least they'll be hoping that. And Prelude, on the other hand, have to overcome a loss to find winning ways once again.
Yeah, Hot Metal only dropping play-ins, only dropping one game in the whole of play-ins, and really putting on a performance. And then Prelude, they've really been putting a performance on all season long, and they've been playing really well. So I think we're going to head into some player stats, just have a look at the players on both sides of these teams and see how they've been performing so far.
Yeah, and looking at overall, Prelude definitely the more attacking team. I mean, they've got a shot percentage of 37. They've got more goals. So they like to be attacking. Hot Metal, not as much, but doing enough to find themselves here. If we look at the goal scoring, far more goals overall on the side of Prelude. So, but defensively, Hot Metal not too bad.
Yeah, Hot Metal do have a lot of saves, and especially Ziev, 63 saves. And we saw him in the play-ins just making save after save, getting these clears out and really stopping the attacks from the other team. And we're just going to have to see if that's going to work against Prelude. Obviously, Prelude scoring so many goals, and they really find a way to get it past that defense and find the back of the net. And it's going to be kind of a challenge for Hot Metal today. They are facing off against a fiery team and really strong on those attacks, and already ready to get into this game number one and going the way of Prelude on the kickoff. So, trying to start an attack up, and Mr. Benzi just can't find the touch on that one. Ziev knocking it down into the corner, but Daramus again just keeping that attack alive. Mr. Benzi trying to find it into the box. Zeno is there, just locking this Hot Metal side into their half at the moment. A double commit coming out might leave the net open for Hot Metal, but no one there to follow up the ball. And it's going to be a freebie for Mr. Benzi. But a shot coming in. Zeno again getting the clear away. Melty Crispy into the side. Trying to follow it up. Drops it down into Daramus. The free ball for Zeno. Finding the box, but again cleared away by Deadfang. And already you can kind of see that Prelude, they have the pressure, but they just don't have a player mid to kind of capitalize on these attacks.
Yeah, and it's been a bit of a nervy start for Hot Metal. All the balls that have gone forward have been the result of like long clears, desperate clears to get out of their half. They have spent most of this game pressed up on their goal line. Zeno with the shot, Melty Crispy, wow, gets in front and saves it. And that's about the fourth time they've had an open net to shoot at from their half, and they've put it off target. If they can figure that, or a double commit, they're in trouble here. Boopy, but Zeno with no boost to follow it up, so they will survive it. Oh, look at this! Oh, Boopy, they've snuck one over Prelude.
They definitely have. We talked about Ziev getting all these saves, getting all these clears. Well, turns out he can score a few goals as well, and taking it all the way from the halfway line and just putting it in the back of the net. And Prelude getting a little bit wrapped up in the offense. Too many attacks kind of coming in, and they weren't really finding anything, and the counter-attack comes in, but that's way too high for Melty Crispy. Deadfang can't find a touch either, and it's just left a 1v1, but Zeno just kind of fumbles the dribble. Mr. Benzi with a backflip, keeping the pressure alive, going for the shot, can't find the touch. Melty Crispy getting it clear. Deadfang can't find the touch himself. A shot coming in from Zeno, and just no defense there to deal with it. 1-1 game.
Yeah, and honestly, Hot Metal looking very shaky in their defense, and it's very important there that Prelude has scored, because I think they were getting a little frustrated because they look like they're a better side, and when you're playing a team where you feel like you're better than they are, oh, right off the kickoff, Mr. Benzi. And I'm not sure what happened here on the kickoff. Oh, Deadfang diving straight past the ball, and all the kickoff had to do was get it on target, and Mr. Benzi did. Not looking good at the moment for Hot Metal.
Yeah, it's a sloppy one they've given away, and they've cleaned up that kickoff ever since. A good double kickoff coming out from them, but the attack starting from Prelude. Melty Crispy Takes it over one, and Daramus with no boost, but he commits to the challenge. But it does get cleared. And Melty Crispy just finds a touch, but the only player there is Mr. Benzi. Finds it into the box, but Ziev has so much time to work with. Flicks it over one. Zeno is there. Finding it to the corner. And a whiff coming out. A shot opportunity. It goes wide. And Ziev is there. Gets it past two defenders. Zeno, the only one left back, but finds it round over him. And Zeno just gets challenged straight away by Dead Fang. Melty Crispy is up. He finds it to Ziev, but the shot is blocked again. And it was an opportunity, but Prelude, the defense, is definitely holding on for them.
Yeah, and you know what? I get the feeling here, Prelude are not really respecting Hot Metal here. And to be fair, Hot Metal have had a number of whiffs and have looked shaky in defense. And when you don't respect your opponents, you find yourself doing things you wouldn't ordinarily do. And so many times they've been caught out playing high up and exposed at the back. And if Hot Metal can figure out, if they can figure out their shots on target, they could be scoring against this Prelude time. They could have done it 3 or 4 times already. Oh, look at oh, my word. Boopy, what is this from Melty Crispy? It seems to have come from nowhere. All the way along, he has undone the entire Prelude team.
Well, he's brought the flames out and he's melted the complete entire defense of Prelude with that one. Just taking it round one, getting the flick over the last defender. Gets the equalizer in spectacular fashion. And if he can do that again, I do really favor the chances of this red side. But Zeno just starting the attack again. Gets the bump on Ziev. Melty Crispy is there. Finds it to Benzi though. Daramas can't find the shot. It is blocked. Ziev is there. Gets the touch. Can't follow up on it. Or he can. No one challenging it in the air. And this Prelude side must be a little bit passive. No one really kind of challenging these aerial plays from Hot Metal. Giving them a lot of space to work with.
I think what they're struggling with here is they're not quite sure how to play this Hot Metal team. They're just trying to overcome them. They're sort of trying to bully them back. And it's not quite working. And they haven't figured out their play style. And if I'm honest, neither have I really. It seems to be they're playing with a lot more enthusiasm than any sort of coordinated play style. And hey, look, it's worked out for them. They've got themselves into the playoffs. And there we see another whiff coming out from Prelude. And somehow Hot Metal keeping themselves in the game. 20 seconds to go and they're in attack.
Well, as the clock is kind of ticking down, we may be seeing our first overtime of the Prospect playoffs. But a double commit on the defense leaves an opening, but Zeno just a little bit too far away to capitalize on that one. Mr. Benzi up, and the 50 blocks out the attack completely. And we go to overtime, the first overtime in the Prospect playoffs so far. And these teams, despite Hot Metal not really kind of being favorites to make it into the playoffs itself, they really are putting up a fight, throwing it onto the backboard, going for the double touch, but can't find it. And Melty Crispy finding it around Mr. Benzi. A whiff from the defender and a double commit from Prelude. And it's a very chaotic one, but Hot Metal have found the back of the net.
I think Prelude are going to be really frustrated here, and it's fantastic to see. You know, there have been moments of brilliance from this Hot Metal team. I mean, we saw that goal from Melty Crispy was just like, it blew my mind. It was amazing. Ziev starting it off with kind of sneaking one on the counter attack, sneaking it under the players. And really, I do think if we look how these teams play, Prelude and given their track in the league play, Prelude are the better team. But Hot Metal, they've just got something in it, and it's frustrating because so many times they're making whiffs and mistakes, but then they come out with the brilliance. But either way, it's worked out for them, and they take game one. Can Prelude figure out how Hot Metal are playing? And honestly, I think if they just play their game, solid Rocket League, they will have the better of this Hot Metal team. But they're look at this, and Hot Metal are making Prelude make stupid mistakes like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a complete dive double commit from Prelude with not really much need for it as well. And it just kind of kills their attack as soon as it's begun. But Daramas trying to find it around one of the last defenders here. The shot comes in on target. Melty Crispy gets a save to the corner. Xeno needs to find this mid, tries to take it himself, but Deadfang gets the clear, gets the flick as well. Can't quite get it round. The last defender gets the 50. Mr. Benzi is there. Melty Crispy just locking them in their half. Daramus allowing them to break free into the corner. So yeah, finding it round Xeno there. It goes over Deadfang. The pass comes in, an opportunity. It would have been an insane goal, but just a little bit wide. Zev can't get the touch, too far off the wall. Melty Crispy's there. Tries to get the block, and everyone's up. All this hot metal side. Daramus finding it to Xeno, and two players dive on that one quite quickly, just shutting it down. And a shot coming in, but again wide. And everything that Prelude are doing, it's just kind of either going wide or getting cleared away. They're not really finding the opportunities at the moment, and it might be one for this hot metal side, but again saved. Definitely at a stalemate with both defenses holding up.
Yeah, it's been a better game, generally speaking, for Hot Metal, I think. Just in terms of they've seemed a lot more solid, a lot more settled. And I just love how they come out with these sorts of plays. You know, I mean, this was just wonderful. Ziev off the backboard, Melty Crispy with the follow. And, you know, they've been under it. They've been under pressure. Somehow they've kept it out. They've looked like they're keeping... Well, they have kept it out. And then they come out with a blistering play like that. It's fantastic to see. Hot Metal are making Prelude struggle out there. 1-0 with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, definitely Prelude starting to sweat here as another shot comes in. But that first goal played to perfection. No one on the backboard. And just using it to their advantage completely. And now Prelude down a game and down a goal in this game too. Trying to find it mid. Xeno is there, but can't find the shot with the back of his car. Deadfang can't find the touch. Zev getting the 50. And straight to Melty Crispy. It's going to hit the backboard. Daramas can't find the touch, and another opening chance for Melty Crispy, but he couldn't find the shot. And it stays just a 1-goal game.
And you know, Melty Crispy has done some amazing things, but then he'll have a whiff like that, you know, where there was an opportunity, and he kind of whiffs the thing, which is it's so strange to see. And I just the way they're playing has made Prelude not play how they would normally play. They will finally get one back here, and if Prelude can find their play style, the way they've played throughout the league, they will have the beating of this Hot Metal team. But they've got to stop trying to play around Hot Metal. Stick to their game, what has gotten them this far.
Yeah, they've got to play actively and not reactively. Play their own game. Open up their own chances as it goes onto the backboard. Mr. Benzi is there. And it goes from a 1-goal lead for Hot Metal to instantly a 1-goal lead for Prelude.
Yeah, this is much better from Prelude. Now, this is them playing their game. They're not playing for the mistakes that Hot Metal might make, or trying to beat them, or trying to bully them. Just play how you would play. Find the pass and be there for the follow-up if your teammate misses it. Much better from them. They've taken a lead, and this could be dangerous for Hot Metal. If Prelude can settle in here, oh my word, that should have been a third. Hot Metal have gotten away with one, but Mr. Benzi will make sure they don't get away with another. 3-1, and now they're starting to step it on Prelude.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to warm up. And something to note, Daramas actually being the Prelude sub, I do believe. So, Prelude sub coming out for the first few games of this playoffs. But we have some news from the other game, the lower round one. Bing actually taking the first game against Majors in a 3-1. So the top dogs, after that loss, maybe not the top dogs anymore. But the top dogs in this matchup definitely have to be Prelude. But Hot Metal really, really battling to get one back.
Yeah, they are, but they're fighting nonetheless. Deadfang, and he's looking for a dunk there. Melty Crispy is going to send it straight up into the air. Ziev now toward the net, he's putting on pressure with presence there, but has to retreat. And now Deadfang is up, but he doesn't get there. That's a 1v1. Mr. Benzi flicks it over. Surely they've got to get this in. Indeed, Daramas with the finish. And I do like that goal explosion. I'm going to have to go and play Sideswipe just so I can get it.
Definitely going to have to be downloading that on your phone after this game. Maybe the inspiration coming from this Prelude side, who definitely have woken up. And these attacks really are kind of coming to light for them now. And they have put 4 on the board. They didn't look great in that first game, but really stepping it up now. And I was a little bit worried for them when the first goal came in for Hot Metal. But they really are putting up on a performance. Another save from Zeno. Just denying the chance. The bump coming out. Mr. Benzi can't find the touch, but another bump. Just allowing Daramas to take this one away from their box. Finding it into the other box, but again cleared. Zeno is there. Finds it to the corner. Melty Crispy getting the touch. Getting the 50. And Mr. Benzi getting it to the corner, but it's on its way mid. It gets cleared away again. And this defense from Prelude just looks impenetrable.
Yeah, I really think they've figured out how Hot Metal play. And they're recognizing that rather than trying to play for their misses, they are playing in a style that works for them. And when they do that in terms of getting solid connection with the ball, you know, looking to get it forward in a with some intent, then Hot Metal are struggling to respond to that. You know, Hot Metal are playing with a lot of heart, a lot of enthusiasm. But eventually, your skill in Rocket League has to come through, and Prelude seem to have figured it out. So we'll see if that continues into the next game. But we are 1 apiece here. But I still think Hot Metal have it in them to cause more of an upset here. Pretty good for the first half of that game. They look better than they did in the first game. They were making fewer mistakes. But once Prelude started hitting the ball, is this going to be an opening goal? Zeno will get back, and a little bit slow from Hot Metal. They had a great chance there. Dead Fang's going to put it too high. And Zev coming all the way from the other side is also going to pepper the backboard. And a good piece of pressure here. Prelude haven't gotten it away to safety yet. Dead Fang! Is that on target? It's down off the crossbar. It's floating and it's in. And another good start from Hot Metal.
This is exactly what Hot Metal need. What a shot from Dead Fang. I mean, it almost cleared away, but put in by the defender. He just couldn't scramble to it. And Hot Metal taking the lead once again. They did take it in that game too, and they let it slip. So they really need to kind of stay awake now. A pass coming in for Melty Crispy. He gets the 50. Mr. Benzi will be able to cover it, but it goes straight to Zev. Zev going for the aerial play, trying to get the other touch. Daramos is there just to save it. Dead Fang up again. Mr. Benzi with the 50. And 2 players up from this Prelude side. They need to scurry back to defend this one, but it's just not going to go mid. And it was a little bit of weak defense there, but not able to be capitalized on.
Yeah, but we're seeing the mistakes from Prelude, the mistakes they were making in game 1. Can someone get on that? Oh, yes! Oh, it looked like it was almost saved by probably Dead Fang. But, well, Dead Fang gets the touch. Melty Crispy, Dead Fang coming down. That ended poorly. But it does go in, and a 2-goal lead for Hot Metal. But the mistakes, Boopy, there are... we're seeing Prelude make the mistakes they were making in game 1, trying to respond to the play of Hot Metal. And they've got to be cautious of that.
Yeah, they've gone back to playing reactively. They're just kind of reacting to what Hot Metal's doing, and they just need to play their own game. They did it in game 2, and they opened the opportunities for themselves. But it's not really working out for them so far, and they're not able to lead their half. Dead Fang just piling the pressure on, and it's gone straight to Zev. Another shot, and a triple commit from the defensive bump as well. And what chaos Prelude have fallen into now.
Boopy, this is unbelievable. Every player up, and not one of them could get the clear, could touch it into a corner. All 3 of them up conspire to bounce the ball perfectly in front of the net for an easy tap-in. And now, this is an important moment. There's so much time left on the clock. Hot Metal have got to prioritize their defense. Try and keep control of that ball as much as possible. And this is a time when the enthusiasm has the potential of getting away with them because they've got a taste for goals. They're loving life out there. And in their pursuit to just pile on the goals, they could find themselves exposed at the back. So they do want to be cautious and conscious of that. Because they don't want to throw it away from here. They're looking solid.
They really are, and A little bit of a car crash for them in that last one. All the 3 players just kind of hitting each other out the way of the ball. And 3 given away now. They have half the game though, this Prelude side. 2 come back from that one. Zev trying to clear it away. Another shot coming in. And Daramas trying to keep the attack alive, but with no defense. Zev just needs to tap it in, and he does so. And the 4th goal for Hot Metal. No one expected them even in the playoffs. But it looks like they're taking down Prelude in such an amazing fashion. And what a goal coming out from Zev there.
Well, they have a convert. I'm a fan of this Hot Metal team. I love the way they play. It's all heart, and they have these unbelievable moments of brilliance. Oh my word! And now they are putting Prelude to the sword. They are not thinking about defending at all. They just wanna finish them off completely.
Yeah, they just want to keep the attacks going again and again, and another goal coming in for them. And it's so important for Prelude now to just keep their mentality in check, that they have lost this game potentially. I mean, there is still time for the comeback, but with the way they're playing, it doesn't look like it. And if they do go down in this game, I'm kind of worried for them that their mentality is just going to slip. They're going to get tilted, because they should really be winning this game, but nothing's working out for them. They can't piece the attacks together, and the saves just aren't coming in.
Yeah, well, listen, the only way Hot Metal are going to lose this is with an epic throw. They got 1:50 to hold on to 5 goals. Surely they can do that. And they are looking to do it. Now they're just burning time off. But here, Mr. Benzi tries to... Oh, I'm not sure if he was passing or if he was looking to go up the wall. Either way, the attack has kind of lost momentum. And they should get it cleared out here. Now, Ziev, look at this. It's a 2v1. Who gets there first? Ziev, trying to chip it past Mr. Benzi. It doesn't work out. And now they're going to have to defend, but they won't mind that at all. They have time to try and do something. Burn more time.
Oh, no.
6th goal. It's carnage out there, Boopy.
It absolutely is. I mean, what has happened to Prelude? Completely up against the ropes, fallen into disarray, and they just can't save anything at the moment. 6 goals on the board for Hot Metal, and nothing has even looked close to going in for Prelude. And they really need to bounce back and kind of recover from this one, as the 7th goal might be on the board. So yeah, trying to drop it down, but a pass to Melty Crispy is going to get that one into Zeno, and a touch from Daramas hurting the defense, but no one can capitalize. Melty Crispy into Dead Fang, and they've done it. The 7th goal on the board for Hot Metal, and they are absolutely dominating in this game 3.
Yeah, and clearly Prelude, I think they've realized they're losing this, but they've got to use the remaining time to kind of reset themselves and get themselves back on track, rather than just sort of rotely go through the remaining 50 seconds of this game and get themselves into the next, because they're going to have to figure out something, because Hot Metal are on an absolute tear right now, and looking like they might score an 8th. 7 goals, 7 unresponded goals. That's got to be really frustrating for Prelude. And they've tried, and every time they try, they get knocked back, and very often counted. Maybe one here for the Brazil. It doesn't go through. But yeah, what do Prelude do coming out for game 4?
Well, they just need to reset and stop playing their own game. They need to stop trying to kind of stop what Hot Metal's doing, because they are coming out hot, and it looks like an 8th goal on the board from the goal line of Hot Metal. Everyone just being so aggressive. They need to get at least a goal on the board. But an 8th one coming in for Hot Metal, and they didn't look strong in that last game, but boy, do they look strong now.
Yeah, they've done amazing here, and they're your classic dark horse team, a team that nobody gave a look at, nobody considered, nobody thought would go anywhere, and Mr. Benzi is going to get the last say in this match, probably, with a goal for Prelude, but it doesn't matter in the grander scheme, and the dark horse of Hot Metal looking to create another upset, and I think it'll be an upset in anybody's books if they can pull off the unlikely and win the next game and take the series and move on in this tournament and put Prelude completely out.
Absolutely. Well, we have a 2-1 series for Hot Metal, and we also have a 2-1 series for Majors. Majors winning 2 games in a row. They did drop the first one, but they look on good form now. But we have to speak about Hot Metal's form in that game. They looked so aggressive and scoring all these goals. Prelude couldn't really do anything about it. They got one on the board for them, which is important because they have...
Out of the tournament and moving forward themselves.
Absolutely. Prelude are not going to be wanting to go out this early on. Obviously losing 2 series in a row if they drop this game. And with Hot Metal on match point and looking fiery, especially in that last game. The attacks are still coming in. Zev trying to get it round Mr. Benzi, but can't find the touch. A clear coming out, but Deadfang is pretty well equipped to deal with that one. It does pinch to Mr. Benzi. And rolling off the backboard, someone from Prelude needs to be up from that, but no one's even challenging. And they're definitely not playing their own game right now. This is not the Prelude we saw in league play. And this is the thing about playoffs. It all comes down to this one day. If you're not feeling up to it on the day of playoffs, then you're going to go out quite early on. And Prelude are definitely not looking on form.
They're not. And Hot Metal, you know, we spoke about them in the last game, or at least I was mentioning that they got to prioritize their defense. When they were 3 goals up, I was like, is this going to go in? No, it's not. I was like, you know, they got to hold on to that 3-goal lead. They go on to score 5 more. And I think Hot Metal know one way to play, which is just go forward, have fun, do crazy things like this, and score goals. It almost works out. Melty Crispy having a hell of a series. He's pulled off some amazing passes, some amazing shots of his own. And after facing down some pressure in the first part of this game, they're looking to pile it on themselves. And for me, the equation is simple here. Whichever team scores first is going to win this game.
Absolutely. It's looking like quite a slow game compared to the last one, especially. I mean, Hot Metal putting a lot of chances on, but the defense holding a whiff from Daramas, but Sino is there to deal with it. And it goes to Deadfang. Deadfang finding the side, trying to find it round Mr. Benzi, but he will beat him out. And Zeno there reading the clear out. Deadfang with a pass to Zev. Zev finding it off Daramas' car. Melty Crispy up early. Finding it round. One of the defenders finds it mid, but no one's there. And can he put it in himself? Not quite. And so close for Hot Metal on that one.
And they were so unfortunate for them, a little unlucky. I mean, Melty Crispy did wonderfully to get there ahead of the defender, and now they will score. Deadfang puts it away. And I said it earlier, the team that scores first will win the game, and I do think that's going to be the case. But let's see, Prelude have so many questions to answer. They're right up against it, Boopy, and they got 2.5 minutes to get it together and change up what's going on out there.
Yeah, they have to keep their heads in this game. I mean, they have such a much better performance than the last one, and they're definitely still in it. But the shot getting cleared again by Hot Metal. And Prelude, they've saved so many shots this game, but one finding its way in. They definitely can still come back from this. Their defense is looking a lot stronger, and that's the important part for them. They can score goals. We've seen it. We saw it even in the last game. So as long as their defense is stronger and they play their own game, they definitely still can win this game. But it's all about that mentality, making sure that their kind of heads are in the game. And Daramas with a mega clear to Mr. Benzi. The shot might go in, finding the backboard. Mr. Benzi there, and Daramas following up. But it hits the post and bounces out. And I don't understand how that ball didn't find the back of the net, Greybeard.
Well, you know what? I think maybe what we just saw kind of sums up the entire night for Prelude. I mean, that was surely an equalizing goal, and somehow they conspired to keep it out. And it is so frustrating for I think for Prelude, because there are so many times when Hot Metal's defense looks a little shaky. Someone will whiff the ball, someone will have an awkward touch, but somehow there's another player who seems to get enough on it to get it away, and this just keeps going on. And the result is that Prelude can't find their way through, and they sit here. At least it's not 5 down like they were in the last game around this time. They can still equalize. It's a 1-goal game, but for Hot Metal, just 1 minute. Dead Fang! Oh, his touch is too heavy, almost gets the dunk. Melty Crispy now trying to bring it round in front of the net. Zeno will get the touch away. 45 seconds for Hot Metal to hang on and take the series.
Only 45 seconds left, and they're always trying to get another goal. They're always on the attack as Zev with another shot. Zeno is there, but a bad clear, and it goes straight to Melty Crispy, who puts the second one on the board for Hot Metal. And I don't think anyone expected Hot Metal to be taking this series, but what a form they've come out with today for these prospect playoffs.
That's been amazing. And at the beginning of the series, I was going to ask you for a prediction, and in my mind, I was gonna back Hot Metal, and then I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't, because everyone's bet against them, and betting against them has been their clearest guarantee of success. Oh, Zeb is gonna get it in, and Hot Metal have now done enough. And they again have surprised everyone. They're causing an upset here. They're moving forward, Boopy. What a night for Hot Metal.
What an absolute perfect performance from Hot Metal. I mean, they've come out strong, scoring 8 in the last one, scoring 3 in this one, and there's no way for Prelude to get back into this one. And you know, when people are making predictions about who's going to be making the final, who's going to be taking Prospect, Prelude is a name that always comes up, but they've been taken down by Hot Metal in a complete unexpected turn of events. They're looking for the 4th goal. They know they're through one round, and their momentum didn't even start in this game. It started in the play-ins. They dominated their bracket, and they're dominating in the lower bracket as well, and they take the series 3-1, and they just look unbeatable right now. I know Prelude taking that one game, but ever since then, Hot Metal really stepped it up. They warmed up, they got the goals they need. And I mean, taking a game 8-1 is ridiculous, especially from a team that came from the play-ins.
Yeah, and they've done themselves the world of good, and I'm sure they're getting themselves a bunch of fans, me included. And you know, you don't
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here for the upper final in this prospect playoffs, and you know, none other. I'm joined here by Simdog. How are you doing? I mean, just look at that face of yours. It's so beautiful. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely incredible. A slight change of plans just as we did get into this stream, but we are finally here, and we are finally underway in the upper final. Of course, it is Kindling versus Cardinals, sorry. And Kindling, they did make it here, only by playing one game so far in the playoffs. They beat Maces with a 3-1 scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, 3-1 scoreline. It's a pretty comfortable score, especially being in this playoff situation. So it's going to be very comfortable for them. But you know, we know how it turns out on playoffs. You know, it all comes to the day. You know, can you put all of that league play experience? Can you put all of that fighting down onto the day when it truly matters to crown yourself the champions of the prospect tier? I mean, that's what we're here to find out. You know, who's the toughest? Who can do it on the day? Who can make it count? And you know, who can live up to that pressure? And I gotta be honest, Simdog, it's gonna be a very tough one for both teams because these are very strong teams, and you know, there's a lot of people who favour either team. So it's gonna be a great. Oh, bro, see, it's that great. I'm not even stumbling, but either way, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a game 5. But at the same time, even if it was a sweep, just because of how strong a team can be.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where they're going to be either incredibly good on the day or incredibly bad. I mean, it's first and second in league play, wasn't it? None of these sides made it through play-ins. They were just the best of the best in the league, so it's going to be all down to who comes and plays their best today. But Cardinals, they did have a slightly better score in their first playoff game, beating Prelude 3-0. So that sweep coming out for them. Will they carry on with that form in this upper final, or will it potentially be going the other way?
See, that's the question to answer. But either way, both teams getting quite a comfortable victory, as you've mentioned. You know, Cardinals with that 3-0, but Kindling with the 3-1 onto Majors. You know, Majors were seen to be a very strong team. Hence why, you know, they got that Game 5 victory onto Bing down in that lower bracket where they're going to face a really tough opponent, Hot Metal. So either way, there's going to be a very good team going into that lower final. But Kindling, they've got some challenges to do because obviously in league play, coming into the last few weeks, they had to play their sub, and for most people that know, their sub is one of the lowest players in the prospect tier. So the games weren't easy. So can they bounce back into that momentum with the main roster? But as you can see from the player stats on the Kindling side, a lot of players here to look out for. The whole main roster, JPEG, Killer Goose, and Soren, all pulling up really good stats. We've got JPEG with over a goal a game, Killer Goose and Soren just under, but the saves from all of these three players, it's all there. They're just such a consistent main roster. There's no one player to look out for.
Yeah, it's more of the same really on the Cardinals side as well. Dehydration being an extremely strong player, getting up there with the assists and the goals, almost balanced out in that retrospect. But I mean, you've got Hivers here who's got 88 goals in 71 games, which is such an impressive record to have. And it's the kind of goal scoring ability that can sometimes be cancelled out by the likes of this Kindling roster. And then you do have Jem, who was also the sub, did only play 15 games, but did get 14 goals and 10 assists. And then Pure completing the team that will be playing today.
Yeah, I mean, for a sub, that is some pretty good stats. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see the subs play unless, some major issue comes up for the team. But how nice would it be to see the sub just jump on, take the victory of the series, Maybe even in the grand final, super sub. It would be great to see. But either way, it's going to be a hard one to predict, As always, I've got to ask for your prediction, Simdog, because obviously most people know my one from the RS cast. They know my prediction of this one. But what's your prediction? Who do you think is going to take, and who do you think is going to go to that grand final?
Well, I'm sure you know by now I'm never too out there with my predictions. I'd never even really name a team too often just to score and say it's going to be this score to either team. But no, I'm going to go for it this time. I'm going to go with a strong 3-1 to Cardinals.
3-1. I mean, I can't complain with that. Cardinals, a very strong side, and I've just realised, well, I didn't predict Cardinals and Kindling to face up against each other, so I guess I can't throw out a prediction. I don't want to go the exact same as you, but I kind of don't want to go the opposite. I really do think Cardinals are going to take it, but just for the sake of the casters, I'm going to say Kindling. I'm going to go the opposite. Game 5 Kindling, although I know in my heart that Cardinals are a very strong team.
Yeah, they are indeed. So it's going to be very, very good to see them play in this game. Of course, it is a best of 5. The upper final and the lower final will still be a best of 5. The grand final that will be coming after those two series will be a best of 7. But we are going to get underway here in Game 1, Kindling versus Cardinals. Hivers getting a very strong first kickoff there. Pure is just going to look to take this one in, getting a huge demo to dehydration though. Just missing out on that touch. JPEG trying to beat Hivers out to that one, but sent all the way down to Soren, who can just take it onto his back bar, picking up a save in the process as well, trying to get the clearance away, but just not holding on for possession too long. Killer Goose going down the other end. Can he get the shot on target? Just missing out on that one. But there's been some pretty good pressure for either team so far, but are in this opening 30 seconds.
30 seconds in, we see quite a lot of game number 1 being that kind of warm up, the tester of the opposing team, finding out, what's their play style, how do you crack them down. But both teams looking pretty consistent right now. There's not too many whiffs or mistakes, and both teams are really proving that they want to remain in this upper bracket, which is such a really big advantage going to that grand final. We do get that opportunity. You only have to win that one series, where the lower half, they have to make that bracket reset. So the winner of this series, they're going to have a lot of momentum and a really big advantage. But either way, it's going to be a tough one, and already from this minute you can see how close it's going to be. But Hivers with the goal, he just can't save that one. He's just placed it perfectly and just straight into the car so powerfully, cannot save it.
Oh, there we go. We took a while to get the opener here in this first game of the upper final, but it is none other than Hivers for Cardinals. Getting the opener, missing out on the first one, but getting the follow-up and getting the goal to put his side ahead. And they'll be very thankful for that. They can now enter the next stage of this game with that 1-0 lead. Look to extend it too, but they just have that little weight lifted off their shoulders. But it might not be for long, as that shot is still going to fly in, but is turned away. Soren leaving that one for JPEG as he tries to get this one up and into the corner again. Pure skills just taking his time, but Soren is there to close him down. Dehydration with the save, but Killer Goose with the follow-up. But there is Hivers, the goal scorer, helping out at the other end as well, keeping this lead intact. Still trying to extend it here. Can he get a second one for his side? Just bouncing off the post. And the follow-up, it did look to be there, but the touch wasn't there to follow. JPEG down the other side again, can't get a bump. Hivers there again. Now, he is being strong all over the field so far, but he is looking like the main man right now.
I mean, a lot of people know about this player. He is one of, well, arguably, maybe one of the best players in the prospect here. So he's definitely a top player, but it will be safe for dehydration. Soren is going to follow through. He's going to bust on the crossbar, but JPEG, he is going to finish it, and he finds that equalizer.
Well, just as we are looking to approach that halfway mark, we do have an equalizer, and we are level again here in this game. And it is JPEG. He's looked very dangerous going forward here for the Kindling side. Not done too much until now. But again, it's the equalizer. All you can ask for is the goal. Killigoose is going to look to get another one here. But Hiviz, again, with another save in this series, in this game, in fact. His second of the day. Dehydration going to play that one into the middle. Pure was waiting for it. Hiviz was also there lurking and just wondering about too. But the shot was sent too far wide. Killigoose going to play it straight down the centre. And Pure is going to turn around for this one. Missing out on the touch though. Soren and Hiviz up together. JPEG just going to throw this one on target. And a mechanical error from Dehydration allows this Kindling side to get their second of the game.
It is perfect placement from JPEG. He realises that Dehydration, he's backwards to that post corner, and he knows if he places it there, that's not an easy save to make. You have to have somewhat of a mechanic in your locker. And in the prospect here, you can't expect everyone to do that. So it's well played there from JPEG, just realising that perfect placement. Killigoose almost going for that 2-goal cushion, but 2 minutes left, and we're only seeing a 2-1 lead for now from the Kindling side.
Yeah, well, on one hand, you've got two defences that are playing very, very strong, not looking like conceding too often. But then on the other hand, you can throw it right back at them and say, well, either attack is creating too many dangerous chances, too many that are going to be worrying the defense. We've not been testing them enough, but Dehydration could be doing that here, going for the aerial play, taking it past one, but getting bumped in the process and not being able to get the follow-up. Pure, though, going to throw that one on target. Hivers with the follow-up, but he can't deal with Dehydration with the follow-up. Somewhat making up for his previous mistake and getting his side level again.
He redeems himself in a great time as well to equalise it. Coming up to that 1 minute left on the clock. It's a great time to do it. Game number 1 is already at a 2-2. It's so close. But I gotta say, from the Kindling side, a lot of people, they know that, Killigoose, he's a very good player. He's a player who's really improved compared to last season. He's made such a big impact on this side. But game number 1, we've not really seen too much of Killigoose, so we definitely want to see more of him, especially if Kindling want to go that extra mile.
Yeah, 100%. And well, they have 1 more minute left to go. That opening mile, and just touching on Killigoose again, we really haven't seen too much of him with a very balanced record, 49 goals and 41 assists, and then 65 saves as well. We've just not seen too much coming out from him, only the 88 points. Underwhelming to say the least, but 40 seconds now left on the clock. He could be about to change that, trying to go for his own follow-up, just as gameplay does stop here. I'm not too sure what's going to be going on with this one.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming this is a server thing because, well, this has happened to all of us. But as you can see, this amazing Rocket League, the ball is being left in.
It should have been, but 30 seconds on the clock, 2-2 scoreline, we're underway.
We are underway indeed. Is someone going to score quickly, or is it going to go to the length of this overtime? Well, only time we'll find out for that one is Pilskis is going to get that demo. And, JPEG, 6 points. Oh, what's he doing? Why has he only got 6 points in this game? Oh, shake my head. But anyway, 10 seconds left on the clock. Is it going to go to overtime? Pilskis with the shot saved from Killigoose to the sidewall. 5 seconds on the clock. Killigoose, can he find his winning goal? Hiviz is going to get a touch up. It's going to be in the air. 0 seconds on the clock. Is it going to go to OT? Hiviz with the save to Dehydration. And Send Dog, we're in overtime.
Well, there we go. I mean, I feel like we would have been in this situation, had the server not died anyways, so I'm sort of expecting more of the same here. End-to-end Rocket League 2 strong defensive sides. Killigoose not getting the best touch though, and that one is just going to be sent straight forward by Pure. Hiviz is there for the follow-up. Can he get the second shot? No, he cannot. Pure again just trying to play it forward, and they're keeping the pressure on the midfield line right now, but they've just let that ball drop and the pressure is now on. But 30 seconds it has been so far. Cardinals with more of the pressure here in this overtime, but Kindling, they are now building into it.
Yeah, Cardinals, I mean, I would say they've probably just edged the pressure over this Kindling side, but Kindling have done such a great job to defend every kind of shot that comes their way. But a double commit there from the defense. You know, luckily it doesn't get punished by the other team, but it could turn into a pass and play, but no shot will be executed. And already, you know, Kindling just showing such good gameplay there. You know, they had that defense. It was a double commit, but they recovered well and almost made it a goal-scoring opportunity from it.
And we are now at that 1 minute mark here in overtime. JPEG playing it into safety in that blue corner, but Hivers is just taking that midfield boost and allowing Dehydration to go up past one, and that ball has somehow found its way in the back of the net from miles out. He sniped that one top corner, but you do have to say, but that Kindling defense should have been saving that one.
It's very unfortunate, but got to give credit to Dehydration. A really good shot, a little snipe. You know, in that back corner, he collects that 100 pad. He knows that he needs it. And he gets the perfect. It's perfect positioning. He gets the boost, gets the touch on the ball that's perfectly needed for that shot. He gets it. Killer Goose, he just can't find the save on it, and obviously the defender on the back post couldn't either. It's very unfortunate. But either way, Cardinals are your game.
Positioning and getting ready for any sort of shot that could come flying in. And fingers crossed we will see that in game 2. Of course, we do know that both of these defenses are incredibly strong, and they have been in the game so far, but I just want to see them cleaned up just a tiny bit more.
Well, the teams are underway, and they're here to prove if we are correct by our predictions, or, you know, they're just going to completely prove us wrong. It will be in the half of Cardinals, but already moving to the counter attack. And already, you know, both teams, they seem soothened out. Again, you know, already seeing that double commit from Kindling. That needs to be stopped because there could be an opportunity for the Cardinals, but Killer Goose is going to find a save. Follow through from Hivers, but it will be saved again. I don't know how they do it, but Kindling are getting away with these double commits.
Yeah, they are indeed. I feel like this Cardinals offense is just taking that tiny bit too long when making their decisions, but Pure Skills is not going to take any time whatsoever. Playing it onto the backboard, just not getting the touch that was needed on that final shot. Pure getting the touch off of a Goose clearance, and it only went as far as the midfield. Again, winning that midfield battle. Dehydration gonna go for the shot, but the save made by Killer Goose. Pure Skills, no boost left in the tank, but he is still there. He is still pressuring, and that is the pressure we like to see from these teams. That ball sent flying into the middle. The bump is coming out. Dehydration back into the center. And that ball again, Soren just straight into the path of Pure. And we have still not seen a goal in this game, but all we can say is it has been Cardinals with all the pressure.
Yeah, Cardinals just keeping it on and on, shot after shot, off the sidewall, off anywhere that the ball can bounce. It will be Hivers going up for a double cut, leaving it for Pure Skills, but it's going to go wide. And that's what a comment, you know, Killer Goose, we said last game, not really showing his name too much, but already, you know, he found himself with 2 really crucial saves alongside with Soren. So definitely stepping up to the plate when it is needed for this Kindling side. But Cardinals, they're keeping such great pressure. We're barely seeing the ball bounce into that red half for this Cardinals side. So whatever they're doing, they're going to keep it up. But it just makes you question of how strong the defense of Kindling is. You know, Cardinals have had so many opportunities, and already it could be a goal here, but it is going to be cleared out to the other side. But as I was saying, it just shows how strong the defense is with such consistent pressure from the Cardinals.
And the pressure starts in the midfield. It's almost like Cardinals is a team full of Busquets, Iniesta and Xavi right now. The prime Barcelona team. They're trying to play like them. They're trying to get the passes in field too. That one sent just goalwards, and the ball will drop. But again, they're there in the midfield. They're sending that ball into the corner, trying to get the follow-up touch, trying to take advantage of the mistakes that are being made. Ball sent back into the middle, and there is the opener. And I'm not going to lie to you, but I am surprised that it's took this long.
I mean, I couldn't agree more, but it is Pure Skills to find it, waiting in that midfield box. He's just like, right, now I'll snipe the ball. He gets it, finds that opening goal. After 8 shots from Cardinals, they finally find the first goal for them, and the first goal in game number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, are there going to be any more goals? Because it took nearly the whole 3 minutes to score 1 goal. They've only got 2 minutes on the clock to find some more. But obviously, it is Rocket League, so anything can happen. You know, knowing our luck, we might see, you know, 6 more goals. But either way, you don't know what's going to happen. But Kindling, they're on the back foot now. You know, they've been on the defense all game long. And now they need to find that counter-attack for this equalizer.
Yeah, but I'll just be surprised, really, if Cardinals play a whole 3 minutes completely dominating the game and then they just allow this Kindling side to get back into it. But they're not doing that right now. Pure is just going to play that one into the middle. The shot will eventually come through, maybe touch onto the backboard. Follow-up missed out, but dehydration. An incredibly good first touch, but he couldn't continue on with the pressure. But Pure can, and he's got it on that side ball. He's going to take his time, going to let it go low. Touching to the corner again, picking up the boost in the process. But the ball is sent away, but not for long, as it does enter the red half for just a couple seconds, but it is not kept there. Killer Goose and Heavy's going up for that one together. Pure, though, instantly straight up for that one, sending it back into his own half, though. Shot coming just off the post. Dehydration with the clearance only as far as JPEG, who's trying to play it back into the corner, off and into the centre. The follow-up coming in against Soren now. Touch out to the side by Pure, and the shot from Killer Goose. And all it took was a period of pressure, just a couple seconds in the opposition half, and they have themselves a goal.
Kindling just proving, you know, you can have pressure all you want, but it's about finishing those chances. Kindling, with only 2 shots, but, you know, the game is 1-1. 2 shots to the side of 8 from Cardinals. It just shows it's who can finish those opportunities when they come. It could be another one here, but it will be saved for dehydration. Soren is going to take his time, but we could be looking at ourselves to a back-to-back OT unless someone can step up and be the hero.
And we could be about to see that now. JPEG and Sorum, I believe it was, both combining to make that clearance. Killer Goose up for that one, and JPEG has got a bump which leaves an open net. And these guys have just completed and proven that they are the epitome of the phrase against the run of play. Nobody would have expected this. 3 shots all game and 2 goals. We could be seeing the winner right there.
Yeah, pure skills. I mean, I know he got bumped, but even before that, he was way out of position, too far to the side as third man. Should be closer in the center of the midfield, but it's another goal! Soren, he's just like, oh, you got a wound? Let me just trickle some salt to it. 2-goal lead now with 12 seconds left on the clock. And I mean, Kindling, Simdog, they've had 4 shots, and 4 shots and 3 goals. Crazy.
It is absolutely insane, but I've heard you use this phrase before. I'll use it now. It is not over until the fat lady sings, and we might see some late pressure coming out here. That ball sent into the middle, but however, I do think it is mathematically impossible now. And don't tell my mum I said this, but she has now sung. The game is over, and it is Kindling who do have that winner. 3-1 eventually on the scoreline. Nobody expected that one. Well, after a certain period of time.
I mean, no, you're completely correct. You know, until Kindling got their second goal, no one really probably expected this. You know, Cardinals are all over Kindling. They constantly had the ball in the blue half, constantly trying to get shots on the net, but that's just where Cardinals lacked.
28 possession in field domination. You're not going to expect to be coming out on those every single time, and they're looking to get off to an early start here. Soren playing it into the midfield. But that ball is sent away only as far as JPEG, who can't continue in possession with that one. But that's a beautiful cut on the inside. But nothing much comes from it. Dehydration missing out on that touch, but a good cut out there from Hivi's. Dehydration now on the side again. JPEG letting that touch go into the middle. And that one was a tiny bit dangerous. 30 seconds gone already in this one. That one seems to have gone by really fast, but it is still 0-0.
Yeah, we're still at that 0-0 mark. Almost a goal there, but it will be saved on the line. Not even a minute in yet, but you know, as we saw in the past couple of games, goals aren't really scored too quickly from these two sides. You know, they bow out that possession in the defense and the midfield, and they just lack that execution on the offensive pressure, and that's just what's needed, especially from this Cardinals side. You know, we saw so many shots in that last game, but only being able to put away 1 goal. So it's just if they can improve on that heading into this game number 3.
Yeah, and JPEG with a good follow-up there, but he just didn't have the boost to make it seem dangerous. But Pure is sending that ball on target. Will that foot in? And yes, it will. Nobody there to turn it away here for Kindling. So Cardinals do get the opener here in Game 3 now. It is currently a 1-1 series scoreline, but 1-0 to Cardinal in Game 3.
Well, we've seen this before. Definitely wasn't game number 2 a few minutes ago where they get the 1-0 lead, but it might happen again. But, you know, this time Cardinals, they've scored their first goal in 2 shots, so it's definitely looking on the up from here. You know, they are making their opportunities count even sooner. And Kindling, they've just not really got into it on the attack, but because of last game, I'm really not counting them out. You know, they may not have all this pressure, they might not be having the domination on the field, but they just really do take the opportunities when they come. So I would not be surprised if we see a late equaliser, almost opportunity, but it will be saved from Hivers on that front post.
Yeah, we're in 2 minutes almost gone in this game, and it is still at the 1-0 scoreline. The same scoreline that we did see for the majority of the last game, but the tables got turned almost instantly and all at once, and it ended up being 3-1 to the side who are currently down in this Game 3. Kindling did take that game, but right now Cardinals, possession is being shared a lot more than last game, so maybe we're just going to see a tiny bit more of a push coming out from Kindling, which could then allow Cardinals to have more chances, have more pressure, have more shots than what they did in the previous game. But right now they only have 2 to the name, and that goal would have been incredible from JPEG had Pure not been there to make the save. But we are just now past that halfway point, still 1-0 in this game, still seeing more pressure coming out from Kindling as time ticks by.
That clock is going down, and also we're over the halfway mark. The demo is going to come out to play as we do approach that 2-minute mark on the clock. These teams, you know, they're such good teams. We're not seeing a lot of goals, but Hivers with the boom downfield. But Killer Goose is going to make sure he finds that one. Not going to let that goal number 2 slip through. But with this Cardinals side, you know, if they want to look for these comfortable wins and maybe take the series, obviously I know it's obvious. The more goals you score, that you're going to win. But I generally think they need to build a bigger lead, because they're such an offensive side, but Kindling, they make it count when it matters. So a 1-goal lead, I really don't think it's comfortable for Cardinals.
Yeah, they need that security goal, and it was just a bit of a showdown there, a little bit of a face-off. JPEG gonna take the shot, and well, we were saying it. You were saying it, to be specific. They needed the security goal because Kindling take their chances when they come, and JPEG with a beautiful double touch there, tying the game up here in Game 3, 1-1.
Yeah, Hivers, no one can really blame you. That's yeah. I mean, you could be one of the best players in Prospect, but don't worry, that's not the easiest one to save. I mean, you got to think of his perspective. He sees 2 players, like, literally close to the ball. He's probably like, okay, who's hitting it? No, it's a double instead. It's just all over the place. But either way, it's a well execution by the Kindling side, and they find that equaliser. And, you know, Killer Goose, he's really getting involved, and this is what we need to see from this Kindling side. And if he's involved like this, I can see Kindling going all the way, but I think the defense really needs to tighten up, especially in that third man. You know, the goals from Cardinals, they're just simple booms from the midfield, and it's either the third man, he's too far up, or he's just not in the right position to find that touch. So as long as, you know, Kindling can fix up that third man, I think Cardinals, they're going to have a really tough series. And it could be an own goal, but it does just go wide. He saves himself from the fail of the week.
Well, there is 45 seconds left here, and we are tied up 1-1 here in Game 3. JPEG going to look to play that one into the middle, getting a demo too, but nothing comes from it for now as Soren keeps the pressure on, playing it back where he got it from. Killer Goose now up on that sidewall, playing it into the middle, and just getting a bit of a misfoot there, but the save is made by Dehydration, and the counter-attack is on, but again, not for long. Soren off to the side, Dehydration trying to play it away, but Killer Goose is there, but that's a huge 50, and this is one of those awkward ones. If they don't get the touch, it could end in a goal, but just a few seconds left. The shot just wide, 5 seconds now on the clock, pressure is on, but JPEG, can he keep this ball up? Can he get it into the middle? No, he can't, and for what feels like, what is it, the 3rd time this series? We have overtime, the second time this series.
I just don't know how to explain this. It could be pure skills. You just saying, oh no. If they lose this, they're gonna be kicking themselves. He saves his teammate's shot. I think he already used his flip. I don't think he could generally control himself from not saving that. That's so unfortunate. So this is all down to Kindling. You know, if they win this overtime, Cardinals are gonna be kicking themselves in the foot so much.
Can I just say, I had no idea my voice could go that high pitched, but we learn something new every day, and JPEG is getting a demo on here! And you said it, if they lose this, they're going to be kicking themselves, and it is so unlucky. Left on his own, JPEG gets the demo, and Soren finds himself on the scoreboard. Pure Skills is going to be disappointed with that one, making the save at one end, but going and conceding down the other. It's an unfortunate way for it to happen for Cardinals, but again, it's their own fault at the end of the day. And Kindling, they capitalised.
Yeah, Kindling, as we've mentioned, that's all they do is capitalize. But this game, the tables kind of turned in the shooting department. Kindling, they had 8 shots, and Cardinals, obviously, they still had a respectable 5, but it was Kindling who had most of the shots this time, and obviously, it still worked out in the victory. But
you've got to think, if they had kept that lead, the series would be over right now. It would be 3-1 to Cardinals, just if they had kept the lead. So it'll be interesting to see if they can dominate for longer this time. But JPEG, he did it once last game. He's done it even better this game. And they want to take the series now.
Kindling, I think that's the quickest we've seen a goal in this series, I'm pretty sure. And for Kindling, that is really big for them, because we know Cardinals, they cannot score a lot of goals, as proven yet in a game. So, if Kindling can extend this lead, they're going to be looking really good to take this series. But Cardinals, can they bounce back? They've got plenty of time for the equaliser, but they're probably going to be looking for that equaliser very early to set themselves up for that win. Goose will miss it though, so no opportunity will be made from that. But we're only 30 seconds in, but we're already at a goal for Kindling.
Yeah, and they're going to look to keep that 1-0 lead as long as possible. They're going to look to show Cardinals how it is done. They are not going to want to let this one slip, especially as they are on match point. We can just see them. They're sitting off that tiny bit more. You've got 2 players back more often than not. They're playing the defensive game. They're playing to win not just the game, but the series now. On series point, of course. But we have a lot of Rocket League left to play. 4 minutes left in this game, but that's a huge save coming out from the goal scorer. And a second one there from Soren. A minute has passed, just over that. The chances are still there, but the ball does eventually get cleared, but only as far as Pure, who just fires that one on target yet again. But JPEG with another save yet again, and getting the clearance too. Going to look to go for the solo play on this one. Doesn't have much boost left, but he takes it to the corner, trying to play it into the middle, and it does fall to Soren, but he misses out on the touch ever so slightly, and that ball is pinched onto the backboard of the blue side here. The shot coming in, and it will go on target. As JPEG, he can't get his 3rd of the match, but Hiviz, he can get his first goal of this game for.
Oh, JPEG. Oh, so unfortunate. He just had to watch the ball go over as he flipped. So unfortunate, but the equaliser, it is found, and we're actually over 3 minutes with a goal apiece for each side. I don't think we've seen that, Simdog. Normally, it's towards the end of the game. It's 1-1, so it's great to see that these teams have got a lot more time to kind of edge this game out, but as always, you can't call who's going to take it. Both teams, it's so back and forth. Kindling, they've kept that 100% shooting accuracy in this game. Cardinals, as always, they've got the more shots in their favour, but just not making them count as much. But I got to say, in this game number 4, we have seen a lot more demos come out to play. I mean, from both sides, almost a goal there, but it's just going to go wide.
Just wide. It will stay as they do fire another one forward, but they can't find the shot in the back of the net. Killer Goose trying to 50 dehydration, but he keeps possession, but not for long as JPEG gets a clear. But there's a demo coming out there. Puri needs to catch that one. He does get the flip past one. If he's going for this one, he can, but Soren and JPEG work together to get that ball clear. Soren again with another touch forward. Pure the last man back, but he just gets a touch on that one to turn it back to safety. We're now past that halfway point, and we are still level in this one. Pure Skills waiting, ready to play that one high into the air, where JPEG is waiting, 50 straight down. Soren with the clearance into that red left hand corner again, but that touch from dehydration, very good. That ball bouncing off the backboard. Hivi's up, JPEG up 2, and he was up faster, but the ball is off the crossbar. We are still level in this game. We could have seen a goal for either side in the last few seconds or so, but we are still all tied up.
Tied up, but not for long. The vision's like, yeah. Alright, Simdog, I can hear you. No stream delay at all. He finds that clanger off the corner. JPEG just kind of putting himself in that awkward position. being sideways, it's just going to allow that opening goal for the Cardinals. But we are at a 1-goal lead for the Cardinals, and they're looking strong. But Kindling, they could be looking for an equalising opportunity, but it is going to be cleared out. But wow, what a game this has been. You know, normally when there's low goals games, you know, the game feels quick, but just because of how intense this is, I don't know if it's just me, Simdog, but this game, it feels quite long.
It does, and I won't lie, I probably feel like that's because of the first game of the series, which is making it feel even longer for Killer Goose and JPEG trying to get this one clear. Soren gets a demo on Hivies, and JPEG now gets a very good 50. Can he get the corner boost? He can indeed. Can he play the ball into the centre? He can't. But Killer Goose maybe can have a go, but he doesn't succeed in doing so. That ball sent to the corner where Soren is waiting, but he's just in the wrong position. And pure skills, he does get a save on his own shot with that one. That's a good touch there by Killer Goose, playing it straight towards the net. Dehydration was there, Pure and Dehydration again, both bumping into each other on the corner wall, but they do manage to get it clear and get it into the opposition half and centre. Killer Goose again though, just treating us to some end-to-end Rocket League right now, these two sides, but we are still with that 1-goal lead for Cardinals heading into the latter stages of this game. Will there be a late comeback coming out from this Kindling side?
I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but demos come out to play. Will be a trade demo there, one from each side, but nothing too spectacular is going to be made from it. No shot will be made from there, but as we approach 20 seconds on the clock, as mentioned, Kindling, they need this goal. They just want that opportunity to take the series here and now in overtime. And demos again coming out. Soren and Pure Skills, they're going to trade it. 10 seconds left on the clock. It could be an opportunity, but it's going to be saved from Pure Skills. Hiver's looking for the redirect shot. It's going to dip in, but no, onto the crossbar. Followed through, and it's just going to go wide, but Pure Skills is there to finish it. And he just claims they secure the victory. And Simdog, we're going to game 5.
Well, I'll go back to that point in a second. I kind of want to bring up what I said. I remember very clearly saying at the start of the game, after JPEG got the opener for Kindling in this game 4, I said they're going to show them how to hold on to a 1-goal lead, but instead they've just done the exact same that Kindling did to Cardinals in game 2, and they've come from 1-0 down for the majority of the game to win with a 3-1 scoreline. And it could be getting even worse, but it does stay as it is. Cardinals, they are taking this game 3-1 on the scoreline, and like you did say just seconds ago, but we are heading to a game 5.
Yeah, both teams, they had 7 shots, and it was actually mirrored 4 shots from one player and 3 from the other. And the third player, you know, he's just chilling. He's just getting the 50s, getting the clears. You know, he's just vibing, banging the ball about. So we're seeing 7 shots from both sides, and Cardinals getting the saves.
That second chance.
Yeah, they do have that second chance, but as we mentioned at the beginning of this series, you know, going to that grand final, it's such a good advantage. It's so much momentum, you know, only having to win one of the 2 series. So it's definitely a place you want to be in, but either of these teams that drops to that lower final, you know, whoever they face, yeah, they're not going to have a fun series. It's going to be very tough either way. I would not be surprised if this was the grand final, but a shot from JPEG, and what a shot!
Let's just remember for a second, this exact same thing happened last game. But I mean, that shot is incredible. Dehydration, he did try to get there, but it just wasn't enough. And unfortunately for them, it means they are 1-0 down. But again, the exact same thing happened last game, and Cardinals came out and won that game 3-1. But it will be Kindling who are hoping to keep the lead this time. Killer Goose is going to go off that sidewall, but just not getting the first touch. JPEG taking control and taking over. He knows where he wants that ball to go, and he knows that he can get it there, but Pure Skills now getting bumped and the ball taken away from him. Killer Goose with the double demo, allowing JPEG that time and space just to run into the opposition half for at least a couple seconds, but it just wasn't long enough, and Killer Goose touching that one into his own goal, and butter, that is just not the goal you want to be conceding here in game 5.
Yeah, Killer Goose, yeah. He had to make a crucial touch there. The last player kind of in play to make a touch. Very unfortunate, but hey, that's the way of Rocket League. That's the way it goes. You know, they go 1-0 up, and the game of Rocket League's like, no, Killer Goose, you're going to score an own goal. We want this to be an intense game 5. We're not letting one team take this away.
Yeah, we are just past that opening minute. Killer Goose Again, of course, sending that one towards his own net. Pure Skills just taking control and taking the goal. And we could be seeing another one here. Killer Goose doing better than the last time, making the save and turning that ball away. Soren this time, only as far as Pure, who does send it straight back into the corner. Pure Skills again off the backboard, sorry, and into the centre. But the ball is sent away again, not for long though. Hiv is now playing it forward. Soren with the save and the clearance, but Pure is up and he gets a good first touch, but he's not boosting, he's just letting it drop, and that ball sent down by Killer Goose. And the follow-up was there, but again, another save is made. But right now, Kindling are being pinned into their own half. They're struggling to keep the ball out for just a few seconds. And there was a shot there, but the save was made.
Yeah, even with the few seconds they did get it out, they've lost it already. It's already for Cardinals back on the attack. Killer Goose making that crucial touch though, but as we've always seen, Kindling, they've always been put on the defensive back foot. You know, behind is good, looking for the double, but not be able to find a shot on target. But it's just down to Kindling of how they deal with it and how they make their opportunities count. And so far, you got to give credit to Cardinals. They have kind of adapted to this side of Kindling, and if they can use it to their advantage, they're kind of capitalizing on the mistakes of Kindling in the defense so far.
Yeah, and we are just under 2.5 minutes left in this game, and Killer Goose is trying to get this lead again for this Kindling side. JPEG with the first touch, but Pure gets the second and gets that ball somewhat clear, but Killer Goose is there instantly to track that one down, send it into the corner, and there's a big bump coming out there between the two teammates. JPEG pinched into the corner, Killer Goose is up, does get the shot, Dehydration with the save, and Hiviz makes the clearance. We are heading into the latter stages of this one. Soren playing it off the side and into the centre. Killer Goose trying to take control, but he just throws possession away realistically. Neither of these teams so far have held on for possession for what feels like just a few seconds. They just seem to be giving it back to each other with most touches that they have. Neither team controlling the ball in possession terms, but in terms of where the ball is on the field, I would have to say that Kindling are slowly growing into it more and more.
You mentioned how the ball's kind of just been given away back and forth. I think it's just coming down to the little bit of desperation looking for this leading goal. You know, both teams trying to play it faster, trying to find the goal. Will be a shot, but it will be saved. But yeah, I think both teams are just really looking for this leading goal. I don't think either of them really want to go to this overtime situation because, I mean, the nerves have got to be here for both teams. It's going to trickle all along the line, but nothing will be made of it because you got to think. You got to win this game to basically get a huge opportunity to win it all. But if you go to that lower final, it's going to be a tough run because you have to win that series and then bounce back and get a bracket reset of best of sevens.
Yeah, and the bracket reset, that is what's going to make it such a tough journey, and you really wouldn't think that that is the goal that could potentially win this series here. Just a shot coming from nowhere, and JPEG, he's there ready to deal with it, but he just goes a tiny bit too far. And unfortunately for them, unfortunately for Kindling, they are now behind, but fortunately for Cardinals, they have the lead and they could extend it here, but JPEG just send that ball back down to the midfield. Hiv is now into the corner where he's had it so many times before, touching past one, not beating out the second though. Soren into the midfield, but Dehydration waiting, looking to make that 2 into a 3. JPEG into the centre, can't get a second touch. Pure Skills off to the side again. Killer Goose now back to Hiviz, who plays it back into the air where Dehydration is waiting. The shot is on target, but the save is made. Killer Goose, could this be the save that could save his team? But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as that ball does drop. Cardinals do take the game and they take the series with a 3-2 scoreline. They are the winners here in Game 5. They are moving into the grand finals, and it will be Kindling who do drop. They will be facing Mages in the lower bracket final. They are there waiting for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's credit to Cardinals, but I feel like obviously there were some fans of the Cardinals who didn't really give too much respect for Kindling. They were like, yeah, Cardinals, they're going to run Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's only been a few minutes, but we are here for the lower final, and what a matchup it's going to be. We've got Kindling, who just fell short in that game 5, who will be going up against Mages, and unfortunately, Simdog, one of these teams, they're going home, and they're going to be the 3rd place for the Prospect playoffs.
Yeah, only one can make it through to that grand final, and one will be going home. This will be the final series for one of these teams. But I do feel the need to remind everybody very quickly before we get underway that these two teams have already faced each other in the playoffs, and it was Kindling that came off on top with a 3-1 scoreline. Mages, they fell down into the lower bracket, so they're looking to complete the lower bracket run and make it through into the grand final in this series. But we can't be waiting any much longer, really. This is such a big series, so much momentum for Kindling coming into this one. Game 5 in the last series. It'll be interesting to see how they do in this one.
Yeah, I mean, whilst we wait for the players, just a quick prediction, Simdog. Who do you think takes it? Who do you think is going to reunite in that grand final versus Cardinals?
I mean, the way they were playing last game, Kindling, I'm expecting a potential sweep in this one, really. They were playing so well, and they only just fell short.
I've got to agree with you. You know, sometimes I like to go against the opposite caster, but I've got to go with you, Kindling. Obviously, they beat Mages 3-1, and I feel like they've got the momentum. They've just took a game 5. Well, they didn't take the game 5, but they went to game 5 against Cardinals, who are arguably the best team in Prospect. So I just feel like the momentum is on their side. But for the same time for Mages, they're going to want to win. They're going to want that revenge for losing 3-1 versus Kindling earlier. So only time will tell. But either way, game 1 is underway. No goals just as of yet, but both teams, they just got to feel the opposition out. You know, they've got to figure out those defensive mistakes. You know, how are they going to crack the opposition's brick wall of a defense?
Right now, we've not really had to see much of either team's defense, so they're looking to try and get this one clear. JPEG deciding to turn around in the most awkward way possible and then bumping into his teammate Killer Goose. Those guys were very strong performers in the last game. Diogo, though, taking the shot, and instantly that brick wall you were on about, it has been broken one by one. These two players just in an awkward position, and Diogo takes control of the situation, finding the opener here for Mages in game 1.
Kindling, I don't know what's happened to the defense. It's just kind of crumbled up ever since that last series. Both players going up to that backboard, no one covering the back post or even the net on the ground. There's definitely a communication issue there of who's going for what. So maybe they definitely need to fix that up. But Mages, they are in the lead with that 1-goal lead. But the question is, can they extend this lead that they have built for themselves? Or, you know, as we've seen from Kindling, they're pretty good at tying up games, but not quickly. They normally do it near the end just to build that extra tension to the game.
It's going to be So Speedy looking to get a goal here for Mages. That ball bouncing into the centre. Soren is there waiting just off the post. Diogo looking to get a touch away, and he does get it, but only as far as Killer Goose, who doesn't find the shot on target. JPEG and Fluster both beating out each other to that ball. Soren now with the touch that does go high into the midfield onto that sidewall. Killer Goose just sending that one flying forward. So though, ready, just very well organised to get rid of that one, and that's something I'm actually going to praise this side for very early on in this game. It's only been 2 minutes, but so far the Mages defence has been so well organised, and their positioning has been incredibly good.
Yeah, Mages, you know, they're coming out swinging, getting that victory in that lower semi, and obviously they've had that little bit of a break waiting for the upper final to finish, so they've really recollected in this game here, but they're not going to find goal number 2 there. And Kindling, you'd think they've had the momentum kind of playing so good in the upper final, but Mages, they just seem to want it more, and they're showing such good presence right now as they are pressing from that backboard, but no finish is going to be found. And it's got. I mainly got to pick out the rotation from Mages. The third man doesn't overcommit. He's not in the wrong position. He's central, waiting for this ball. And well, as I talk about, the third man misses the ball. But either way, Mages, they're looking well possessioned. And for as of now, I can't see Kingdom breaking them down anytime soon.
Honestly, this looks like a team who have been very, very well coached. It's been all game since so far, but they could be getting another one here, and there it is. Fluster, he recognises that that third man is coming and pressuring for that ball, so he decides to go for it, just hits it on target, and more than likely it will find the back of the net. He saw the situation he was in, and he capitalised big time putting this team 2-0 in the lead. It is Mages who are on top.
On top for now. Looking for goal number 3, but it will be off the crossbar. No follow through on the net though. But they're keeping the pressure up. Kindling, they've got some things to do. They need to build some pressure. I mean, Kindling have had 6 shots, but another shot here, but it will be saved from Soren. Another shot following through, and the pressure keeps on going. Goal number 3 for Mages, and wow, I mean, I did not expect this, Simdog.
They are picking them. They're just picking them off one by one right now. They're picking them off them like it is crumbs off of a dinner table. And they are just playing so well. Fluster with the 2 goals. Mages with the 3 here in game 1 of this series. They are really looking to rectify their mistakes from the last series where they did meet Kindling beforehand. And they are looking to make a Cloud9 Season 6 run. They're looking to go through the lower brackets and make it all the way into the final, potentially even winning it all. And say so, there he is. He saw everyone else getting a few goals here and there, and he wanted in on the action. So there he is, finding his first goal of the series, and it is now 4-0 to Mages.
They're just doing an excellent job. You know, every time they get the opportunity of a touch in the midfield, they're making it count, even if it's a shot on target or putting it to the side. They're not giving the ball away. They're making every single touch matter, especially when it turns into that offensive kind of counter-attack in the blue half. They're just making everything count. And Kindling, they're kind of just hesitating in the defense, not quite finding that regain of a possessional attack. But either way, Mages, they're looking for goal number 5, almost gets it, but Soren will find that save. But we're just under a minute. You know, Simdog, 4 goals for Kindling. It's possible, but Mages, I don't think they're looking to even let one in at this point.
I mean, honestly. I mean, no, it knows very quickly, first of all, we can't speak too soon, because we always do, and the opposite always happens. But I do have to agree, their defense and just everything about them has been so well organised. They're looking at dominating in every area of the pitch. It might not even be possession, but they're just there ready to send away any sort of pressure. Like, look at that, for example, Seiso beating out the player with the fake. He knew what was happening, and he knew all he had to do was nothing. And it's worked out for him. Seiso again tried to play this one into the middle. Tried to go for the bump as well. Fluster almost adding a 5th onto the scoreline here for Mages, but they couldn't do so successfully. Diogo going to look to run down the clock, keep the pressure on, just not allow anything to go into the back of their net. That ball going to touch the back wall and then drop. And there we have it. Mages coming out here in game 1 of this lower bracket final with an incredibly strong performance there. 4-0 on the scoreboard.
I mean, if anyone thought Cardinals was such an aggressive team, well, Mages might be your new lookout. In this game, 13 shots, and unlike Cardinals, they put away more opportunities. 4-0. They didn't even let one go in the back of their own, and there they found 4 goals for themselves. And for Mages, this is such a strong start for them. They're going to be looking, well, they might be looking for the sweep in this series, and to see that in a final in the lower bracket, it's not something you really expect. But Kindling, you know,
focus on game 2 because that is the game that is in front of us. But game 2 is underway. Mages currently leading the series with a 1-0 scoreline. They're going to look to make it 2 in this one, while Kindling look to bounce back.
Bounce back is what they need, as we'll see. If Mages, if they take this game number 2, they're going to be looking for that sweep, but either way will be on that match point for the series, so it's going to be a very strong position for them. But they're going to get through this game 2 to even set themselves up for that. But Kindling, they're going to be looking for this equaliser in this series, especially with how tough of a team they are. But Diogo already going for the shot, but it will be saved from JPEG. Follow through from Speedy, but the defense of Kindling, it's not crumbled just yet. They're keeping it consistent, they're keeping it strong and alive. But already another shot coming through, but saved again. Mages with the pressure. Wait, is it going to happen? No. Okay, I thought automatically Kindling was going to score the first time.
Honestly, my heart kind of dropped for a second. I know that you're meant to be unbiased, but when I saw that happen, when I saw Seiso go up for it and the touch was just past him, I sort of panicked for a second as if that had just happened to me. But Fluster absolutely burying that one in the back of the net, putting his side 1-0 up. That shot had so much power, 60 miles per hour, straight through the throat of the defenders, but nothing they can do about it.
The double commit from Kenling, like we saw in the last series, it's happened again in the defense, and because of it, Majors have found the opening goal. JPEG looking for the double, but it'll be Say So Speedy on that backboard. And I mean, it's so crucial that you don't make those double commits in the defense, because all it takes for the opposition is to realize that you're doing it. And when they know that you're a team who does that, the midfield, the second man who's waiting, he's going to know that, and it's going to be booted down the field by Thiago, and it's going to go in. A 2-goal lead for Majors. There's no way, Simdog, we see another game of Kindling not scoring.
Well, it's happened again. They just have a bigger brain, it seems. Diogo, he saw third man was pushing up, and we know that he capitalised. Again, he did it in the last game, he's done it in this one. 2-0 now to Majors. They really are looking like the stronger side in positioning and almost everything now. They just seem to be growing in confidence as the game goes by. Seiso is in a one-on-one situation, he's going onto the backboard. That ball touched down into the centre, and both players are going to race back. But surely one of them is going to gather possession. It will be Diogo. Going to take it to the side as well. But JPEG is there. Killer Goose with the shot just off the post. Seiso going to get the clearance, and he's also going to look to capitalise on the counter-attack too. Taking his time, going to play it into the centre. JPEG gets the demo and allows Soren some time to get that ball clear. But Diogo is there instantly to shut it down. Fluster leaving that one back. Seiso with the save. Again, they're just so well organised, and even their 50s are coming out right now.
It's all going into play for them. If Soren got that demo play, Kindling would have found their first goal, but the defensive Majors, they saw it happen. They saw the vision of that play happening before it even got executed, so they defended that well. And Majors, I mean, they've not really been tested on the defense. Kindling, they need to test it, and it is going to be another goal. No clear from the backboard. Goal number 3 for Majors, and 1 goal for every player on the Majors side.
Just another thing about this team is how it's never a solo performance. It's never all about one player. Every single player is getting involved here. They either have a goal or an assist. Well, all 3 of them have a goal scored here in game 2. And there's assists as well, and of course saves. But Seiso has had such a strong game 2. And I think it's because he read what somebody was putting in chat earlier, saying that it will be Kindling taking this one with ease. But right now, it is the polar opposite. Majors leading this game 2 with a 3-0 scoreline, and I've only just realised we're only just past halfway. We could see plenty of goals by now.
Yeah, you could see way more goals, but I mean, even if Kindling, if they could step up, they still have time to bring this back. They're not out of it yet, but a demo will come out to play. It could be falling to them there. It will be missed for the defense onto the crossbar. Kindling, can they finish it? Soren with the shot, but it will be saved out from Speedy. Following through from Killer Goose, but it's saved again. The defense of Majors just shows to improve, and it's never crumbling at any point. And Kindling, they could go 10 minutes without scoring a goal.
They are always ready, and I'd also like to mention, right there we saw it. It's just a small thing, but it happens. The mistake happens so much with these prospect teams. So it's good to see one of these sides doing it correctly. Seiso, he cut across the first man there in a situation that happened just a few seconds ago, but instead of sticking around and trying to go for that ball, he cuts across, but then goes back into position, rotates back post straight away, almost as if it's just a muscle memory movement, and he's doing it automatically, and that ball is sent into the middle. But because of that, they managed to pick up that positioning that they needed to have, they needed to adopt to get rid of any pressure, because even if they have a second man following after losing possession the first time, then they will be there to get the ball clear, but I'm still focusing on that. And here they are at the other end, just getting another goal in this game, 4-0 on the scoreboard. Majors, well, I mean, they're almost trying to prove something to me. They're just screaming out to me, pick me as your favourite team, pick me, pick me. And if they carry on, well, it might be going that way.
Yeah, Majors, I mean, they're just showing no mercy at this point. They won the first game 4-0. Me thinking, okay, Kindling, they just need a game to get used to this new team that they're playing again. But no, generally Majors are on performance. They're just on the rise. They're not stopping, goal after goal. And Kindling just struggling to find their first goal yet. And we could see a mirror of a 4, maybe goal number 5. Will be saved from Killer Goose. That's what's so upsetting to see. Kindling have shown, they've made some good plays. Their defense is there, but it's just not enough to play against Majors.
Honestly, they're just playing so well right now. I do kind of feel bad because I feel like I'm just being so biased towards this major side right now. But that's because I'm looking at what they're doing and I'm realizing it's obviously not perfect. Nothing is ever perfect in Rocket League. There is always something to improve on. But rotation-wise, they are doing it right almost every single time. I can't really recall a moment in that last game where they got something incredibly wrong by the pass back at the start. That was about it. And they didn't even concede from that because they are so well at getting reorganised straight away that they managed to deal with it. And it's almost like that moment had never happened. So another... And I knew it all along. Come on, Donut, you didn't expect this good of a performance. But it's not over yet. There is still another game left in this series. Well, there could be another 3. We could be seeing the reverse sweep. Even I'm getting ahead of myself now.
Got a
This one to the
lot.
side. Fluster down to Speedy. And Speedy now trying to play that one to the side. Fluster now in possession. No boost left to work with though. Going to try to play that one into the centre. Fluster still in possession. Can't get the second touch, and it is Soren who does get this one clear. Say so though, playing it straight back into that corner again. Diogo is up and he gets the touch into the centre. No one there to turn it away. Fluster, he did want to go early, but he knew that he couldn't overcome it just in case this Kindling side did take advantage of it. But right now we are approaching that opening minute mark and it is still 0-0. It almost feels like this is the longest we have gone without seeing a goal.
Hopefully this can go in favour for Kindling. They're really going to be looking for this leading goal and obviously their first goal in this series. I think that's going to be the best opportunity for them to obviously start this first step of the reverse sweep. But Majors, I mean, as you mentioned earlier, Simdog, you know, their rotation is on point. They've always got someone back in the defense and they're always rotating back in time for when the third man pushes up for the ball. And as we saw it there, Speedy went up for it and already Fluster is already back. And I mean, it's going to be hard to take out this defense of that they're showing. It could be an opportunity, but JPEG is not going to let that one go in just yet. But we are just about to approach closer to 3 minutes and no goal has been found.
Yeah, no goals just as of yet. But they are still searching for it and they are still playing well. Diogo now can't get the most convincing of touches as Killer Goose does send it into the corner. No follow-up to be found though as Fluster looks to get that one clear, but it only falls to JPEG, who just sends it straight back to that corner wall again. Diogo now all the way across to the other side. Killigoose is waiting and he gets a massive pinch on that one with that sidewalls. And that ball, it looks like it could have been found into the back of this red side net, but it wasn't to be here for Kindling. Still, of course, searching for their first goal in this series. They've not found one in the opening 2 games, and they're not finding one here. Killer Goose almost looking like he was going to score, but he just missed out at the final second.
Oh no, the flip reset from JPEG, looking for the shot, which he does, but it's not powerful enough. And instantly, when I saw Killer Goose miss the ball, all I could think of is just a clip of that, and that's just a representation of this whole series for Kindling right now.
Yeah, if there's one thing to just show, if you were to show someone just one clip to wrap up, to summarise how this series has gone for them so far, that is the clip. Say so though, going to look to make it even worse for them here. Does get the flip, and it was a beautiful one at that. Diogo with the 50 to keep the pressure on here for this major side. Fluster now, that third man pushing up, but they're already back in position. They're already there, ready, prepared to receive that ball, and it is Fluster who does do so, sending it forward to Say so, but JPEG is there, and I feel like he has been the main player that we've been missing in this series so far. JPEG, he was so vocal in the last series. He was very much at the key point of attack for this Kindling side against Cardinals. But again, they've not even scored in this series, and it just feels like they're not getting involved enough. Not just solo-wise, but as a team in the attacking zone. But they could have been getting the opener there, and again, that follow-up just sent too far wide. But again, it's been the longest we have gone without a goal in this series so far. 1 minute thereabouts left on the clock, and it is still 0-0.
Yeah, despite the first 2 games, you got to give credit to Kindling. They have brought it back. They have stepped up their mentality. You know, if anything, they've kind of got the possession in this game. Looking for the first goal, which they do. Soren is going to do it. And I was going to mention Majors still have not found their first shot. Kindling, their 6th shot. They finally find their first goal.
Yeah, well, the shutout is not there for this major side, but this is the much needed goal for Kindling. This is what they want to kickstart and rekindle, reignite their charge and attack for the upper finals, for the grand finals, sorry, because of course this is the lower finals. Whoever loses is gone, and they do not want to be gone. They don't want to be out of this one, and they are not down. They are not out. It is 2-0 now, just a tiny period of pressure. I do have to mention, actually, I've only just seen this. Majors, 0 shots here in Game 3. The one that they needed to win to take the series, and they've not even shown any signs of scoring.
This is why Kindling are here. This is why they made it this far in the bracket. They just got beaten 4-0 in the first 2 games. But Game 3, they bounce back. They don't let the first 2 games affect them. They come out in Game 3 swinging like, hey, let's just think of this as we got a 3-0 sweep the rest of this series in a best of 5. And they're showing it strong so far. A 2-0 lead with 30 seconds left on the clock. No goal will be found from Majors just yet. Now, see, as you mentioned, still not even their first shot. So that's definitely something Majors are going to look into going into this game at number 4 if it does go that way.
15 seconds left on the clock. Flustery is going to look to get one here. Still 2-0 in Game 3. Say so missing out on that one. It could be about to get worse here, but Flustery does cut that one out. But I do believe it is impossible now for an overtime to come out of this one. But this is what they needed. This is exactly what Kindling needed to get back into this series. Now only 1 back in it, but of course they still can't lose the next game. Next game is still series point here for this Majors side, but Kindling, they did play so much better in that game compared to the previous 2. Is the reverse sweep on, Butter, or are they just going to get shut down in the next game?
I mean, the hope is there for Kindling, but they've really got to play like that. I mean, the difference, the biggest difference from that win compared to the first 2 games, the defense, it wasn't just missing.
And the roles have just swapped in Game 3. But Majors, of course, we are in Game 4. They are still on series point. If they take this, they have made the long run and they are in to the grand final, and that is a huge save coming out from Diogo there. Say so can't get that one clear as JPEG is there to close him down instantly, and the shot is on, and it is Soren who does get a very early goal here for Kindling. 1-0.
Kindling just getting aggressive, they're getting confident. Soren goes up for it, finding the opening goal. Majors, hey, you got something to change, because Kindling are coming out strong. They're not bothered, they're not phased at all that the first 2 games went how it did. But either way, they're bouncing back, and people started losing hope for Kindling. They were like, oh damn, Majors, they're going for the clean sweep. But no, Kindling are never out of it until it's officially done.
Well, not over yet, of course. Only 30 seconds gone here in Game 4, but we could be seeing a Game 5 dependent on how this game does go. But it will be Killer Goose trying to get a second one on the scoreboard here for Kindling. Soren now in possession, sending it to Diogo, who does play it up into the middle, where Seiso is waiting, and that's a good, really good pass into the middle, and Fluster is there to find the shot, but Soren, the one who did get the goal here for Kindling, keeps them in the lead, getting a save there. Seiso closing it down, but getting demoed in the process. A decent first touch from Killer Goose, but can't hold on to possession. Fluster now onto the backboard. Diogo back into the centre again. The follow-up from Seiso, and what a shot that is. They kept the pressure on, and it has paid off big time. 1-1, level again.
That was a great pop-up, and Seiso just placed that beating out of JPEG. Just could not quite get there fast enough. That's the equaliser that Majors are looking for. Obviously, they went Game 3 without scoring a goal, but Simdog, this is the first game where both teams have scored a goal, so who knows what's going to happen in this game, and this could be the opening for such a close end-to-end game, maybe going to that Game 5 if it goes in favour for the Kindling side.
Honestly, both of these sides have both scored a goal in the same match. Maybe pigs will start flying, who knows? I might look outside and there might be a few just chilling out around there. But we are here in Game 4. It is level again, 1-1. And it is good to see both sides getting involved at one end and the other as well. Soren looking to get another one in this game, but sent onto the backboard. Seiso is there. He is ready, the goal scorer, to get that one away, but only as far as Killagoose, who plays it back into the centre. Diogo missing out on the touch there. Soren back across. Too high for anyone to get anything off it straight away, but Killagoose is there for the follow-up. Does get the shot on target, but off the post, and Fluster with the clearance. Killagoose there again. 50'd into the corner as we approach his halfway mark. Still 1-1. JPEG now into the centre. Soren is waiting, but he's not going to go for it. Going to allow JPEG to just take it to the corner as well. They're trying to play the slow game here. They're just trying to pick this defense apart. One player by one, and that is almost what they've done there. The bump almost taking them out of the game, but it is still level.
Still level indeed, and I mean the pressure is level as well. Both sides having opportunities. It's not just one-sided, and that is why it is 1-1. Still just over halfway through, approaching that 2-minute mark. I would not be surprised if we see an overtime, but it's not over just yet for that. Seiso is going to give it to Diogo, but nothing too threatening will be made of it. But wow, what a game. Just to come back from these easily sweep of the games and just come from end to end like this. I feel like this game is, this is a true representation of what a series should be like, especially this far in the playoffs.
Yeah, it truly is. This is now much more of what we expected from both of these sides. Diogo getting a really good pop past one and touch into the middle, but nobody ready to receive possession. Seiso playing it back into the side where Killagoose was waiting, allowed JPEG to go for it instead. Fluster getting a 50 on there. Seiso with the clearance, and that one is pinched onto the backboard. Is anyone there for the follow-up? It is Seiso, but the squishy save from Soren, and Diogo missing out on that one. JPEG gets a flip past one. Can the counter-attack be on here? Soren, he does go alone, but Seiso does get from one end to the other in the matter of seconds, and there is a minute left on the scoreboard now. 1-1 still the score. Diogo playing it up onto the backboard. No boost to follow. He said it's Seiso. He got one earlier, but he can't get one there. JPEG going for the clearance, but Fluster is there to try to play this one back in. Diogo now getting the follow-up, the touch to where Soren is waiting, and he does touch it away, but not too far. Diogo there. Soren does get a save on the scoreboard. Killagoose now going to play this one high past one. There is a double commit, but the save is eventually made. As long as it is made, that is all that matters. But JPEG is keeping the pressure on, playing this one onto the backboard. It might drop. Seiso gets a save now. JPEG into the middle. Killagoose just slightly out of position, so can't find a shot. 30 seconds left, and he's going again off the corner and into the centre. Fluster now ready to play it away, but JPEG plays it back onto the backboard. Some really good pressure coming out here. Does get the shot off the post. Diogo to the side. Seiso waiting. Beats him. Beats Killagoose. Seiso going again on his own. JPEG there, 50 down. Diogo going to go the long way around. Does get the save again. Back down to Soren, who finds the shot just off the post now onto that side wall. Diogo up into the centre. Can he go alone? Yes, he can, but he can't find the shot. The ball is still slightly bouncing. Seiso faking out that one. 0 seconds left, and we have overtime.
Oh, what an intense minute that was from both sides. The defense just really showing up for both sides, but mainly for the major side. There was such pressure from that Kindling side, but they just could not find the... Who is it going to be? Or are we just going to see some miraculous team play clutch out for their team? But just a reminder, majors, they win this game. They take the series and head to that grand final. And Kindling, they need this win going for that reverse sweep. It will be a shot, but it will be saved. It might be a double commit save, but who cares? It's saved them in the overtime for now.
It doesn't matter how they get them as long as the save is made. But Seiso is going to look to play that one onto the backboard. He can't get the dunk. Diogo's there for the follow-up. He does get the shot on target. Is it floating in? The save is made by Killagoose. Again, they've got another one. That's 5 saves here for Kindle in this game. Mages with the 6th, and they're going to be looking to get another one here. Seiso, with a really good first catch, but he can't get the follow-up to Diogo. Missing out on that one. The shot coming in from JPEG, just off of the post. Killagoose with the follow-up now back into the corner where the ball just came from, finding the shot on his own. And there we have it. We are going to a game 5 here. Kindling, they do get away with one, and they could be in reverse sweep territory, not scoring a single goal in the first 2 games, coming back in game 3 and game 4 and finding the goals to get them the wins, and we will be heading into game 5.
I mean, Killer Goose, he deserves that, you know, with a really good save, you know, in that ending matter, and then finding the winning goal. I mean, it's well deserved for Kindling. Soren with such good defense. I mean, the defense in this game was just outstanding, and this is why I love the playoff sim, dog. It just makes all the players, they have to peak. They play their best of Rocket League, especially when they're in a situation where they have to win the game. And because of that, we're going to that game 5, and we could have a reverse sweep. Their defense, you know, when they lose games, their defense is a shambles. There's just whiffs, there's just double commits, well, a lot more of them. But you know, as we've seen in the last 2 games, the games they're winning, their defense is on point. They're getting these saves out of nowhere, especially from Killer Goose, as we saw at the end of that one. And because of it, Majors, they're just struggling. But this game 5, if both teams are playing how they've played when they won their games, this is good. We are in for a treat for a game 5.
We are indeed, and it is going to be Soren looking to get a goal early on, playing it down to Killer Goose. The follow-up coming in from the third man, JPEG, and he is there to capitalise. And I do strongly feel like that is the first time where this Majors defence has been completely disorganised. And JPEG, he capitalises, he takes the open net and finds the opener here for Kindling.
It was so consistent, it looked so fluent, but all of a sudden it's been crumbling a bit, and I think it's because of how aggressive Kindling have got. They're forcing the players of Majors to challenge earlier, and it's just erupting their defense a bit. And you know, now and then we are seeing quite a lot of bump plays come from the Kindling side, so they're doing a great job of disrupting this defense of Majors. And if they keep that up, Majors either have to adapt to it, or just they need to close them down and not allow that to happen, because Kindling, they've recognized what they need to do to get their opportunities on net.
Yeah, and they're just trying to get a goal to get them back into the game here. Say so with the shot, but all 3 players here for Kindling ready to get this ball clear. Killer Goose going on his own. He does get the shot, but it's save, is made there by Fluster. Sorry, now playing it onto the sidewall, but Say so is waiting. He has been the key man, trying to force that ball forward and get these shots on target, trying to make it awkward and dangerous here for this Kindling defense, but it has not paid off so far in these last 2 games. Say so again though, trying to get this one forward, getting a shot, forcing a save from JPEG. Soren back into his own sort of midfield area, and there we go. Fluster is just capitalising on that one. They've just passed it straight to them and literally thrown possession away.
Yeah, right here, Soren, he just hesitated. He could have took a little bit of time, just centered himself on that ball. You know, he could have played for a 50 there, being the first man, but it's the hesitation, probably the pressure of being in this game 5 on the mainstream as well, in the lower final where you cannot lose. I think it just gets to him a little bit, but either way, they've got to bounce back from that. Could be goal number 2, and it goes in already seconds. We see 2 goals from Majors.
Oh, how the tables have turned ever so quickly. 2 goals in quick succession. Diogo getting his side back in the lead. Majors, it's not an impressive comeback so far, but they have got the lead, and that is all that matters after winning the first 2 games comfortably, completely dominating this Kindling side. They needed to get a win now, or they are gone. Diogo getting demoed there by Killer Goose, but Seiso is there to send the ball forward. JPEG trying to send it away. Fluster into the corner. 50. Soren maybe, but can't do so successfully. Diogo again, they're just throwing possession back to each other. It's intermittent periods of pressure, sorry. They're just giving possession back to each other every now and again. And it's just happened there again. JPEG just sending it back to this defense of Majors, and they're trying to play it slowly into the middle. That one pinching away. There needs to be a bump or something on Soren, and that is exactly what comes out. We're approaching 2 minutes left here on the clock, and it is still 2-1.
2-1 indeed, and we're getting closer and closer to see who's going to that grand final. But Majors, they are leading eventually and finally, but no goal 3 is going to be found there, as the attacker and defender are not going to find that touch. And I mean, Majors here, they're kind of in, if you think about it, they're kind of in a lose-lose in like a mental way. You know, if they win this, everyone's like, okay, wow, you didn't choke. But if they do lose, it's like, oh damn, we got reverse swept. So it's like, Majors, you should win this. You know, you've gone all the way to the game 5 after that 2-0 lead. But either way for Kindling, I mean, they've just proven why they're here at this point.
Yeah, and they're playing so well. This is the Rocket League we know that they can play. We saw it in the last series, and the first time that these two teams even came up against each other, it was Kindling who came out on top 3-1. But I think they got caught out by surprise in those first two games, and this might just be the pressure getting to them here in this game 3. But at the same time, you can't be saying that, because Majors, they have played so well, and they have been in the right positions almost every single time, but they're not in the right position there, and it is Killer Goose who's going to tie it up here in the dying embers of this game. 2-2 on the scoreline. We are in for an interesting end to the match here in Game 5.
There's no way they're going to set us up for the Game 5 overtime. I mean, I'm expecting it at this point, but oh my, I would not love to be a player in this game. You know, go to that Game 5 OT. It's definitely going to be nail biting, but the defense keeps alive, and we are under a minute in, Simdog. This is the truth. Are we going to see the winner be crowned on this lower bracket? You know, are we going to see it in the next minute, or is it going to go?
Oh no! That is not how you want to be conceding in Game 5. 3-2 now. Killer Goose, it was a good first touch, yes, but say so. He was already up. There's not much he can do about that. And with 49 seconds left here in this Game 5, Majors, they need to be coming out with something now. Fluster with a somewhat decent kickoff. The Ogre's going to look to follow that one up instantly. Say so. He's going to find the shot. And there you have it. Almost as quickly as they concede, they go down the other end and score another. And we are level again.
Perfect representation. It's never over until it's over. I guarantee you, people thought, oh my, this is how Kindling wins. Nope. Majors, they don't care. They're bouncing back. They're biting back. 3-3. 40 seconds on the clock. I mean, already we've seen 2 goals within seconds. I would not be surprised to see even more, but both teams really fighting out for this. Could be a goal here, but it will be Soren with that front post save, keeping a minute with just under half a minute left.
Oh, this is what we have been preparing for all this time, but we have been getting ready for a moment like this. It is so equal, so level, and we are literally level. 3-3 with 15 seconds left. It's Diogo trying to play it into the middle, but JPEG is there. Gets a very good second and third touch on that one, playing it into the corner, trying to get the demo, but Diogo is there. He's going to have to go higher. He's going to let it go for overtime. Can he play it into the middle? It is there. It's bouncing down. Fluster with the follow-up, but they want overtime.
Overtime is what we have been given. Just one goal here will determine the winner and will determine who goes home. But it's not happening just yet. I mean, at this point, I think it's either going to be a goal within the next 10 seconds, or we could be in for a very long overtime. But it's JPEGs and Soren, sorry. No! Oh my, this is just making me just go speechless at this point. Nothing's going in the back of the net.
We almost saw 2 very quick overtime goals. We could be seeing another chance here. JPEG chasing down Seiso, and it is Killer Goose now playing it into the middle, but Diogo, he gets the clear. Seiso now with a really good flick. Diogo is up. JPEG needs to try and get this one clear. Fluster now playing it all the way to that back blue backboard. Seiso now playing it into the centre where Diogo is waiting, finds the shot, but Killer Goose sends it away. JPEG now in control, gets the touch, but only as far as Fluster. He sends it to the side. Seiso going to allow the Soren to go for this one, but also 50s him and gets a somewhat decent touch, slowing down this Kindling attack here. JPEG now up on the side. He has the boost to go for it, plays it onto the backboard. Seiso slightly awkward, but Diogo does come across to deal with that one, and this is a dangerous situation. Diogo, he goes low and he gets it past one, but JPEG makes the clearance for now. The pressure is still on, but nobody to turn it away.
No one to find that who's that, you know, no one's turned up to be the hero for their team just yet. It will be a shot here, but it's a little bit too weak for Killer Goose to let that one slide in the back of the net. But a bump play coming out from there, but Soren will be there on the goal line, and oh my, both teams really trying to find the neither side. Oh, almost.
They're trying to play this one forward. The pressure is all with this Majors side right now. Fluster getting a good 50 down. Killer Goose is up though. And he gets a good clearance alongside that Seiso with a good first touch. Diogo is going to come in and take control, take possession in with open and JPEG no boost left, so Fluster does have a free ball to go for here. Dioga with a very good redirect into that corner where the blue team can't get away with it for too long. Dioga there again, 50s out Soren, who's been very strong with his 50s, but so too was Dioga. He gets another one there. Fluster now in possession, playing it into the corner. JPEG back into the centre of his own half. Soren attempting the clearance, but only as far as Dioga. That ball just sent flying on target. JPEG with almost a free save to make there, needs to get this one clear. Is anyone going to be there ready? Only Killer Goose to try to kickstart this counter attack, playing it across. Say So Speedy is waiting again, ready to clear it off his back ball like he has done so many times in this series. JPEG with a decent first touch, but Say So still in possession. Dioga's going to go for a bump, he can't get it past all of them. Fluster now missing out on that one. Dioga, he has to go back. JPEG getting bumped out there. Killer Goose 50 by Dioga again and again, and that is an open net to shoot it. Can Say So take it? Yes, he does, and there is your winner here in game 5. It is Say So Speedy who fires a goal, and it is Majors who do take the series.
With just over 3 minutes in overtime, Majors, they finally find the victory. You know, they go 2-0 in this series, and they were looking threatened to get that reverse sweep from a Kindling, but Majors, they are your winners. They will be the ones to close it out. And I mean, Simdog, oh my, what a series, and most certainly, what a game 5. That's going to be one of
I hope you know that you are on my mind. Promise I'ma waste no time. Got down, but now I climb. Said I wouldn't make it, feeling so lost. I feel caught up in the matrix. Have to keep waiting.